Unmute. Hello.
अभी तो मेरे पास आ जाना 1 मिनट तो मेरी शक्ल नहीं आ रही है हाँ तो ना पीछे बैकग्राउंड दिख रहा है वो तो होते 2 मिनट होने जाएगा भूमि तो आना गया तो पकड़ के मुझसे बोला शक्ल कैसे नहीं है क्यों नहीं आ रही
देखो दिख रहा है क्या मेरा उसमें से ऐसे आवाज भी नहीं
तो दिख रही है ना तो नीचे हो रहा
है ओह दिखा रहे कैमरा
ऑडियो हाँ क्या वक्त बोल
Namaskar. Mic testing. Hello. Please check.
Hello,
Am I
Sanjay.
audible to everybody? Just
Hello.
write in the chat
Hello.
box.
Hello.
Hello, Sanjay ji.
I hope I am audible, visible to
Yes,
everybody.
Sanjay ji.
Namaskar. Welcome.
Yes, you're-
Sawadee Khap.
Very
Sawadee
Om. Yes, Sanjay ji.
Okay. Very late good evening in Australia and good afternoon in Thailand.
Thailand.
And, good evening in other Southeast Asian countries. I would like to welcome you everybody. I would like to apologize for 7 minutes delay, but let's begin the conference now. And today, this is not my turn to talk. We would like to hear the youth, our youngsters, our friends. So give me 1 minute and let me set something and then I come back. Okay. So you can see behind me, there's a happy faces of our speakers. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm just trying to admit as much possible people, all of them now. But let me begin the program first. I would like to, before I proceed, I would like to say a few words, then I will invite our mentor, our guide, our strength, Dr. Mano Lahovanich, who joined us. He's the director of Gandhi Institute. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin this conference, first International Youth Leadership Conference, organized by Gandhi Institute, Rangsit University. We officially welcome you all in this grand online event, which is dedicated to youth, young people, and the people who will lead the world in future.
You're on mute, I believe. We can't hear you.
Yes, Sanjay ji, there's no voice.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I have to begin again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Sanjay ji.
Sorry. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the first International Youth Leadership Conference. We have participants from Australia, from Southeast Asia, from Thailand, and from India. We have, I would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Mano Lahovanich. He is the director of Gandhi Institute, Rangsit University. In the director of Gandhi Institute, Rangsit University. So I would like to invite Dr. Mano Lahovanich to deliver welcome remarks for the first International Youth Leadership Conference 2021. Dr. Mano Lahovanich. Achan unmute khap.
Hello, everyone. Welcome you all to the first International Youth Conference. And our theme is very interesting. I think I would like to learn from you more than to give a lecture or talk about education, future of the world, what's going to happen. But I think that youth has more idea what's going to happen and would like to see what the world would like to live after COVID-19 pandemic. I think the new coronavirus has changed the world for good. It will not be the same. But how far? That is the thing that we have to work out together. And I hope that most of you have got vaccination. Anyone of you haven't received vaccination so far? Please raise your hand.
Not in Australia yet.
Not in Australia?
No.
Oh, I have 2 vaccinations already.
That's
So,
good.
yes. And I received Sinovac. In the first injection, there was no pain at all. No serious adverse effect at all. But on the second vaccination, there was a lot of pain when they were pushing the medication into my muscles. I felt a lot of pain. 7 out of 10, quite painful. And then half an hour later, I became very sleepy, almost fell asleep. That's all I had. No fever, no other side effect. I think that they will cover me. And that was about almost 10 days ago. Anyway, I would like to welcome you all. And again, we'd like to learn from you of education. I have to express myself that I am a medical doctor and born in Thailand, and I study medicine. But my first degree was Bachelor of Medical Science, and then I have medical degree, MD. Then I went to study Sanskrit at Oxford University, BA and MA of Sanskrit. Then I went to study at Harvard University, the THM, Master of Theology of Harvard. I work on applied Buddhism, Buddhist ethics. And my last degree is PhD from Hamburg University. My degree is on healing meditation. I've been teaching meditation since 1975. Maybe sometimes you were not born yet, most of you. But I've been teaching meditation till now. And I help people. I'm also president of Palliative Care Thailand Foundation. I help people to die in peace. And I teach about death and dying to people, living will. And I gave a lot of lecture in Thai and English about palliative care. I teach a lot. I teach Buddhism. I teach Thai politics. I teach philosophy, religion, comparative religions, Buddhism. So that's what I did. And again, thank you for joining this. I have experience of learning many countries, and I've experience with many languages, English, Pali, Sanskrit, Prakrit, Tibetan, a little bit of Chinese, then also Latin and Greek, because I studied Harvard, a little bit of German, so that's all. But after Sanskrit, all languages become easy, I tell you. Yeah, any one of you studied Sanskrit so far? No? Well, it's a marvelous language. Very well organized, the best language in the world, highly sophisticated. You should try. There's a book called Teach Yourself Sanskrit by Michael Coulson. A splendid book. You can learn by yourself and help you to understand this classical Sanskrit. Above all, it's a great language. It is the link between science and humanity. If you understand Sanskrit, you understand philosophy. All school of philosophy are like there. And you understand computer language also, how it works, same. Now I will open this conference. I would like to to request you all to speak as much as possible, express your idea on education of 21st century. What's going to happen after COVID-19? Will the world be a better place or will it be worse? The floor is on you. Please, thank you. Sanjay. Right, Sanjay?
Thank you so much, Achan. So nice of you. And we are fortunate to have, I can see Sri Pankajji. Pankajji, namaskar. Thank you. Pankajji, namaskar. Pankajji, just say hello, please.
Hello.
पंकज जी एमएससी ऑफ इंडिया में है और गांधी इंस्टीट्यूट और हम सबके फ्रेंड हैं, तो वी वेलकम यू हियर टुडे more like a personal capacity, and I can see your son is with you. So, hello, hi, how are you? So nice of you. I personally request Pankaj ji that please bring your both sons in this conference so they can also get benefited. So without delay further, I will please mute yourself, whoever you are. Yeah. So let me just introduce you, Hemaji. Hemaji, just say just hello.
Yeah.
Hema, your timekeeper.
Yes, yes.
And she will actually at the time when you finish your 5 minutes, she will put one bell.
Yes.
When you make your final statement, 1 minute, she will put another bell. Okay. So please follow her. She will be your timekeeper, and we will finish it on time. I promise you. Okay. Thank you, Achan, for the wonderful welcome remarks. Thank you, Pankaj ji, for joining us. We always value your contribution, your participation in our activities. And I would like to welcome all the speakers who joined us today and their family members, as well as your friends also joined this conference. So thank you so much. I'm so excited with the response that we got for this conference. And believe me that it is far beyond my expectations, not only in terms of content, but as well as participation from Thailand, from India, from other countries in Southeast Asia, as well as from Far East, Australia. So you are here. Okay. The format that I would like to follow now, I would start with the hello. Please mute yourself, whoever you are. Okay, I will request to Pankaj ji, please say a few words before we move to the conference here.
Thank you, Sanjay ji, for inviting me. Thank you, Dr. Mano, for your welcome remarks. And I joined this meeting to learn something from our youth. And my best wishes are with you. Please begin your session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ji.
The video unmuted. Mute and
I request all the participants, please mute yourself because except speaker, nobody should speak. Okay, so all of you got it. May I check Dr. Alex is here? Please raise your hand, Dr. Alex. Not yet. Okay. So let me begin with the conference with the most prominent youth from Thailand first. So please welcome our first speaker of the conference, Sri Ved Vyasji. Let me introduce you Ved Vyasji first. Vedji graduated from Imperial College, London. He has a degree in electrical and electronic engineering, and he is a CFA charter holder. Ved actually specializes in corporate finance advisory and best practices IR strategy. Ved has more than 12 years of experience of working in financial services. Ved started his career as an analyst with UBS Investment Bank, London. He has worked in capital market and corporate finance across Europe and Asia. Ved has performed several roles in his career, such as investment banker, equity research analyst, institutional equity sales, portfolio manager, CFO, investment strategist, and strategic consultant. So all I can say, Vedji is our finance guy here. And I have been listening some of his audio speeches in the past, and I find it very fascinating that we are very happy, Vedji, that you joined us. So without delay, we would like to invite you as the first speaker of this conference from Thailand. And as you know, topic is, I have already briefed all the speakers. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ved Vyasji for the first topic of the conference. Vedji, namaste.
Namaste, Sanjay ji. Thank you, Sanjay ji, for inviting me to this. Thank you to the Gandhi Institute, Rangsit University. And I want to start off by saying a big thank you to Achan Lawanit for that beautiful opening speech as well. Even before we begin talking about the topic, which is new trends in education and career planning, Achan has already very beautifully shown that he is an embodiment of learning from the youth, and it does not stop at his level. I think for all of us here, even though we are representing youth, we also have so much to learn from the younger members of our society. And really, I felt like I was listening to a hero, the thing that he said about Sanskrit being the bridge between science and humanities. I would love to explore that a bit more at some point. For today's discussion, I'd like to start off by looking at our current education system and what its mission is and what its limitations might be. And then we are going to look at the rest of the discussion from the lens of three major global megatrends that I believe are impacting and also changing the society. And these megatrends are, number one, we are seeing changing demographics around the world and changing social needs. Number two, we are seeing the rise of exponential technology. And number three is climate change and sustainability. So first, let's look at the current education system that we have. We can call it Education 1.0. And the origins of this modern day education system roots back to the start of the Industrial Revolution. It's a very industrial education system that we have. And the mission of this education system is through standardization, through increased efficiency. Our purpose in life as society is value maximization. produce more, consume more. But obviously, it comes with its own set of limitations, because if the mission were to be fruitful, we should have been leading the most fulfilled, prosperous, happy, and peaceful lives. But the reality is that the world we live in has got hyper competition, rising mental stress, and ever busier schedules. Nobody ever has enough time these days. So my first point is that any modern education that we speak of, the planning for it needs to reassess our priorities as society. Are we simply a species that lives towards GDP maximization? Or maybe perhaps we are something beyond that as well. Now, the other demographic shift that we are seeing is longevity. We are living longer lives. We are living in mostly aging societies around the modern developed world and certain other countries as well. And our life expectancy is rising year on year. A few generations ago, this number might have been around 50 to 60. Currently, we are already in most of the modern world at around 70 to 80, and our children are going to live the 100-year life. So the life that we are going to be living in the future is going to be remarkably different. And it's happening at a time where the world is changing. I mean, if you look back at the last 10 years of our lives, just the introduction of smartphone and smart technology has changed our lives to the point where we are all interconnected from different parts of the world and having this discussion today. So in the future as well, there's tremendous, tremendous change coming. And the old model where the first 20 to 25 years of one's life go towards education and then the rest of it is a professional life until retirement is not going to work. Because if it were to work, it will come with a lot of boredom, it will come with burnout and increasingly redundancy because of the advancement of technology. And that brings me to my second mega trend that I want to talk about, which is the rise of exponential technology. And within this, the one technology that I'd like to focus on a bit is the rise of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is revolutionary, and it's already having a profound impact on society. There was a research conducted by Stanford University in 2013, which said that 60 to 70% of all jobs in Thailand in that year could be automated overnight. And that's obviously not happened so far, but you can see which direction we are going into. And education and career planning needs to take into account that we are going to have to evolve, we are going to be more dynamic, we are going to have to reskill very frequently through our lives. Of course, technology also comes with its positives. You know, we live a more interconnected life, there is sharing of information, there is edutainment, we can learn new things in an entertaining sort of a way on YouTube, on TikTok, on interesting and entertaining platforms. So there is a lot of positive that technology brings as well. But the model is increasingly going to move towards learning for life. And what this will need is an introduction of generalists into the society who come to the marketplace with human skills and human values like emotional intelligence, empathy, and collaboration. And modern education has to train us for these modern skills to solve the modern problems of the 21st century. And these problems are social inequality, overconsumption, greed, disinformation, the rise of artificial intelligence, the rise of mental health issues. And finally, I'd like to conclude by saying that the third megatrend is climate change and sustainability, and modern education has to prepare us for that as well. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Vedji, your concluding statement, 1 minute.
My concluding statement would be, if we look forward at the world, I would like to go back to Achan's words at the start. We have to give a lot of the onus to the younger people. We've got to learn from them because we just simply not going to be able to keep up. And there is a lot of creativity, innovation, a lot of change coming our way. And the best way to deal with change is to accept it and work with it. And I think this will lead us to a very, not only prosperous and materially fulfilling society, but a psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually fulfilling society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Veji. So nice of you. Let me introduce you one of my volunteer. Her name is Shobha. She's also the speaker. Shobha, can you just say hello? Open your mic, Shobha.
Hi, Shobha.
Shobha.
Hi everyone, good evening.
Shobha is making the notes what you are speaking. So I just want to introduce you that she will be the recording the proceedings in a very summarized manner so that we will share with you after the conference. So thank you, Shobha. So Shobha and Hema both are volunteers today. Hema ji, you have to press the bell after 5 minutes and then give 1 more minute for the concluding statement. Now, the next speaker, I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Velankani Alex, who just joined us today. Dr. Alex, can you just say hello, please, first? Dr. Alex, can you hear me?
I can hear you, no problem.
Okay, no problem. Let me introduce Dr. Alex. Dr. Alex has completed PhD in educational leadership from Assumption University, Thailand. He was in Bangkok for a few years in the past, but now moved to the Tamil Nadu. Dr. Alex also done MPhil in mathematics from Madurai Kamaraj University, Tamil Nadu, and he has more than 5 years of experience in teaching various institutions, not only in Thailand and India, but overseas as well. And career is towards education leadership. Published, a wonderful thing is that Dr. Alex has published so many research articles on leadership in education. So we are so delighted to welcome you as the next speaker of this conference. So Dr. Alex, you have 5 minutes to summarize your thoughts on the new trends in education and how we can build a career around that. Dr. Alex.
Sure. Yeah. Can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, I am Dr. Velankani Alex. I would like to introduce myself that I have completed PhD in education leadership as well as in MPhil Master of Philosophy in Mathematics. But surely we can say the trend of education and career in education, it is a very important that we should know that our interest, it's a made of our education as well as of working experience. But as a school and college of education, it is made of book oriented, like based on education, everything is based on the book or some other things. We can make it like a education leadership. It means you have to lead something. So we can make as educations in a different manner, like we can make it like active education. It means like 3 years of education we have in Indian education. We can say it's like 3 years of only book oriented. We don't have any experience of after learning or some things. I hope then you can understand. For when you look up like European education and US education, 3 years of education, after that you have to 1 year. What are the things you have learned, you have to experience, you have to show it. I hope you can understand that. But Indians, we don't have like that experience. Am I right? What are the things, what you have learned once you can end of the year, you can write an exam. You can, if you get it like a 60% or 70% you are okay. It means you are educated. Doesn't mean that what are the education like some the industrial oriented we cannot get it. We don't get it. So that much experience we need to get it. So that Indians education of curriculum should be need to change some other things. So if you change this, what are the things you have learned and you have produced something is a new, it's a good and we can learn it. So it will be good. What are the things you have learned for even like 3 months or 6 months in or in a year? You have to produce something as a learned from that. You have to develop something as a new. That it should be a clear and okay that. So that is the experience we need to know that is our theme is like in education, what you have learned, what is your career to develop something is a new. That is more valuable things, those things. So if like this, it mean some of the things now it's a quarantine situations. So it means what are things you have learned, like a MBBS or something itself, like a bachelor things you can identify something is a new to find the people to secure the life. So what are the field you can find out? So you have to characterize. So okay, I learn some things to the people for the safe. Okay, you find it one more thing. Oh, I have learned the medical. Oh, I can give something is a new things for the this incident. Like we can make it like that. So each one things we can develop. So that is the education that we can give. Doesn't mean you can get a degree. So it doesn't make the people to grow their life. The education degree we can get everybody people like, oh, I can get it. Oh, so right now it's current situation is I am a doctor. Doesn't mean I'm a doctor. It shows this in abroad. I have done a medicine. Doctor is a given different perfection. They're different things. You know, you have to do undergraduate, master graduate, and postgraduate. It's like a doctoral degree. It's entirely different that. It's mean it shows your research entirely this and that. It goes like a more future that other than this. So blindly we can say, oh, I have done MBBS, so I can do this. It's entirely different shows that because your research is a common things. How can you make it in a common things for that? Am I right? It's entirely different that you can say, you can choose your carry some like your career like this. So it's entirely different. You can select your career. Oh, I like to do for like medicine. Oh, it's so good. Okay, you can carry on those things. I like to do for a software engineer. Do it career this. But I would like to do for like a teacher's education. I can do it like this. It's entirely different that those things.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello, Alex
hello.
ji. Any problem? Audio?
No, I don't have any problem. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please make a concluding statement now. Concluding
Yeah.
statement.
Okay. I would like to make a conclusion statement. What is your professional career? You can do it as it is. That's it.
Yes. Please. Good.
Yeah.
Done? Done? Alex
Yeah.
ji?
Done.
Okay. So Baji, I hope you're recording the properly. Hai na? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Alex, for your wonderful, and we are happy that you have done your education from Thailand, Rangsit University, and we look forward to more interaction with you in future as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm moving to the next speaker now. Let's go back to the India now. So I would like to request Sheetal Kumar Agrawala ji. Can you say hello, please?
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, okay. Open your video. So Sheetal ji, welcome. So let me give a brief introduction of Sheetal ji. Sheetal Kumar Agrawala, he is a graduate in law from University of Bristol and completed his master's in management from London and London School of Economics and Political Science. Thereafter, he is involved in his family business where he served as a managing director of the Galaxy and Sawadhi group of companies. And his father, Sri Pradeep Agarwala, was a very active member of Indian community in Thailand. And we are so fortunate to connect you as a youth. And we known you in Bangkok from a long time. So I hope you have been busy in Bharat for your business ventures. So Sheetalji, we welcome you as a speaker of this first International Youth Leadership Conference. So please go ahead.
Good afternoon to everybody and Sawadee Krap. I would like to firstly thank Sanjay ji for the introduction and for inviting me to speak at the first International Youth Leadership Conference 2021, organized by Gandhi Institute, Rangsit University. For this talk, I would like to share my life experiences through 3 stories which have significantly impacted my journey in education and career planning and what I have learned from that. The first story is about how I got into law at the University of Bristol. Back in 2011, when I was a Bangkok Partner School, I was confused between whether I should study business management or law. The good thing for me was that I knew I wanted to join my family business in the future. So I decided to speak to my dad about what skills would be relevant. He told me that our business was becoming more regulated and there were more compliance requirements. This made studying law an obvious choice for me. During my law school, I also decided to take electives which would be relevant to my family business, such as insolvency law and issues of corporate governance. In the holidays, I would spend time in my family business to learn more about people and systems. Finally, when I joined the family business, I realized that all the skills I developed over the years really helped me. For example, I now was drafting and vetting agreements on a consistent basis. From this experience, I learned that clarity is very important. Since I knew what I wanted to do, I was able to develop skills which would help me to do that. The second story is about how I got into LSE. When I'd applied to LSE for my undergraduate, I had gotten rejected, and I felt extremely disappointed because that was my dream school. But nonetheless, I took this as motivation and wanted to do my master's from LSE. For this, I had to understand what my weaknesses were and why LSE had rejected me in the first place. 3 things came to my mind: my grades, my relationships with teachers, and my personal statement. Firstly, I studied hard and got the grades required to get into LSE. Secondly, I built a very meaningful relationship with my professor Janine, who mentored me over the 3 years at law school and taught me a lot of things about law and life in general. She even wrote the recommendation letter for me, which really helped which really helped me getting into LSE. Lastly, for my personal statement, I researched online and reached out to people who had gotten into LSE and asked for their personal statements so I could understand what LSE is looking for. If I could understand that, this would increase the chances of me getting into LSE. I remember the day when I finally got into LSE and I got the offer letter. I was extremely happy and felt extremely rewarded. From this experience, I learned that being resilient and not giving up is extremely important. The last story is about my experience with my family business. After graduating from LSE in 2017, I joined my family business full time. I was really excited about what lied ahead, but little did I know about what challenges there were as well. My first challenge was speaking Hindi. Even though I was from an Indian family, I could barely speak any Hindi. That meant that my employees and my associates couldn't really understand me. So I decided to work on my Hindi, which is such a basic thing. The second challenge was understanding the cultural difference. Since I had studied in the UK, I understood the British legal system, but I quickly realized that the system was very different from that of the Indian. For that, I pursued a bachelor's degree in India to understand the Indian system better. Lastly, the challenge was talking to people and interacting with people from different backgrounds, and more importantly, lesser educated backgrounds. I knew I had the theoretical knowledge, but when I first met a labor contractor, I realized that I didn't understand what he was saying, how I had to interact with him, and what his intention was. Over time, when I interacted more with such contractors, I realized that experience is very important, and this is what I call as practical knowledge. From this experience, I learned that adaptation is very important and having listening. All the best, everybody.
Thank you, Sheetalji. So nice of you. We're happy that you have shared your journey, your education in Thailand and UK. But I hope other speakers can inspire with that. But what Sheetalji has covered up so far. So we wish you all the best for your business venture in future. Now I would like to go to Australia. Lavisha, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I think one of the reason that we organize this conference is that to connect the youth, not only in Thailand and India, but even Gandhi belongs to the whole world. So for us, youth, anywhere, any location where you are, we try to connect youth. So we are very happy that we are able to connect Lavisha Kapoor. She is the brilliant daughter of Sri M.K. Kapoorji, and I spoke few times with Lavisha, and very impressive profile she has. She is actually a role model for many youth in the world. I remember that she was selected for the No India program by the government of India. She had opportunity to go move around and many on behalf of government of India. She was invited to interact with so many diverse group of stakeholders in India. So I just like to brief you about the Lavisha's engagements now. So Lavisha Kapoor is an individual staying in Australia right now. And she has a Thai Indian roots, as I told you, that daughter of Sri Kapoorji, who is based in Thailand now. And Lavisha, she is by profession, she's an event manager. So she definitely understand how much efforts an event, either online or offline, doesn't matter, but efforts is efforts. So she has over 15 years of experience in organizing events, activities, working with diverse people, private organizations, companies, as well as government organizations in Australia. She has been invited to be part of prestigious global events. She is a passionate mentor guiding youth from various backgrounds to succeed in life with confidence. In today's session, Lavisha will provide insights on building resilience and how to survive and thrive in his ever-changing world. So Lavisha, we welcome you on behalf of Gandhi Institute. We're looking forward to your advice to the youth and how we can get inspired from your wonderful career. Lavisha.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay and the team for allowing me this opportunity and inviting me for this. When Mr. Sanjay and the team contacted me to talk about this, I was excited and nervous because 5 minutes is not enough at all to talk about this topic, but I thought what I can do is share my experience and my story with you. So hopefully people can relate to it, because you might not remember my words, but hopefully you remember a story that you can relate to yourself and get motivated by it. So as Mr. Sanjay mentioned, I've been an events manager for about 15 years. As long as I remember, that's all I wanted to do. My dad's in finance and I never wanted to do that or anything else that's boring. And it was not an easy path so far. So it was very difficult getting into a career that was very new at that point in time. And events is a career that's very vulnerable to the market, both on the micro level and also the macro level. So anything that happens around the world affects the companies right away, and especially the events department. COVID might be, the biggest pandemic in our living life, but this is not the first big incident that happened to me. In my career of 15 years, I was made redundant 3 times from companies because there was an earthquake in New Zealand or there was the global financial crisis. And every time I had to learn to adapt and thrive and get ahead in life because you can't just sit back. So the irony is I always wanted stability in my life. And I always found growth in instability. So as soon as I was like, no, I want this to be permanent and 5 years in this company, 10 years. No, the growth comes with change. So like everyone else, myself as well, I was very nervous in COVID. I'm like, I'm in events. There's no events happening. There's a lockdown. What will I do? And, and all these words come into your head, all these negative thoughts. And the company I was working for was a government funded organization. And we used to train teachers to how to train other people better on different topics. So luckily, the type of events I did was adaptable to the online world. So not only did we change our face-to-face workshops and conferences online, but we also came up with new topics of how to train people via Zoom, which people never did. These teachers have been teaching for 40 years and suddenly they're like, I don't know how to use Zoom. And so we came in that picture and trained them on that. So jumping on the opportunity really helped. And the funny thing is that whenever I used to tell people that, oh, I've been busier than ever, I'm doing a lot of work. People are like, how are you working? You're in events, we're in lockdown. I'm like, no, because there is an online world and you can tap into it. So there were a lot of new skills which I had to learn to get through that. Once that role finished and I moved on and now I'm in the, I was in the job hunting market. I'm like, oh my God, I've not worked for about three to 5 months. What will happen? How is the next phase going to be? How hard is it to find new jobs? And what I did in the 5 months was not only learn new skills, but also adapt to the skills I already knew. So I started my own picnic hire business. I started doing stuff on the side just to keep myself busy. And that really helped me understand, my own potential because you didn't have that opportunity before. So, I graduated with an executive MBA degree at RMIT and I mentor students as well. And guide them through professionally and career guidance. And here I am myself in the same shoes after so many years. And I think I heard this from someone and it really resonated with me that talent is widely available, but opportunities are not. So you have to create your own opportunities. And the only way you can do that is be your authentic self. Now, the topic that I was asked to speak about today is a new trends in education and career planning. But how can you plan your career when you don't know what's happening tomorrow? When there are one lockdowns after the other, and we as youth, we can adapt and change, but we also need a safe environment to grow in. So what I realized was there are 3 things that you really have to keep in mind. One is resilience. So keep your mental health up. Very healthy. It's not taboo anymore. It used to be before, but it's not anymore. And COVID has really helped accelerate that. So, ask for help, go out there, reach out, whether in person or online, make it a normal thing in your life, and upskill yourself or, in your current skills as well. Second thing is survive. So you cannot plan what's going to happen 4 years down the line. You cannot even plan what's going to happen 2 months down the line. But you can plan your plan A and plan B and maybe a plan C. So you have something to fall back on. And the third and the last thing is thrive. So be your authentic self and be passionate about what you want to do. And, I was reading news articles of people who applied for 400 something jobs, this person in Western Australia with 30 years of experience after COVID wasn't getting a job. I'm like, I'm not the only one, or there are people like me as well. But now the project that I'm working for is, I'm working for a big project for 1,000 people conference. And it's teaching me a whole new software, which only came up now in the market after COVID. So I'm like, wow, this is not a permanent job, but this job is going to give me so many new skills to thrive. So whereas I want stability, I got growth in instability. And that's something I'm getting used to, which I believe that other people should adapt as well. And the world has become borderless. Managers do not, I know my time is about to finish, I'll wrap up. Managers do not measure your success with the amount of hours you put in. They actually see what you do, how is your work-life balance, what you can input into themselves. And now my closing statement will be, thank you so much for Mr. Sanjay and the Indian Embassy for allowing me to be part of that Know India program, which I attended, where I got to meet like-minded individuals from around the world, people of Indian origin like myself, that could connect on the same topic, and we face the same problems, like, oh, I can't read Hindi, but I can speak Hindi, or, I was born here, but etc. It was very good to know there are other people like us around the world, and we are our future. I want to do my PhD one day in globalization and multiculturalism and how it affects the global economy. And the basis of that will be people of Indian origin, like myself and like everyone else attending the session today. So thank you so much. Please feel free to drop me a message on LinkedIn or Instagram, or just Google me and find my articles, because I would love to connect with you and see how we can make the future brighter. Thank you.
Lavisha.
Yes.
One sentence concluding statement.
One sentence. You always give me these short times. I cannot do it. Okay. Well, I want to say that no one knows what the future holds except yourself. So you have to make your own future. And I'll tell you one line which my dad always taught me. He's like, there will be storms, sunshine. You have to be that tree. The roots are very strong. And if your roots are strong, no matter how much the winds come, you will still be standing there. So that's all you can do. There will be many other COVIDs coming or going, or global financial crisis or whatever it is. As long as you learn these skills to be transferable and be resilient to the market, you can adapt to different things, and you'll always be happy with that. So
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All righty.
Thank you. So we are very happy, Lavisha. So thank you for joining us from Australia. And I know that you have lots of experience. In fact, we will find other opportunities for you in future. If we select some topic where we have a limited audience and a limited speaker, so we'll give you more chance in future again.
Yes, give me more time to talk. I would love it.
Sure. You're qualified for that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, then let's go to Malaysia now. So I request Utkarsh ji, please come on the camera. Utkarsh Gupta ji.
Hi, Sanjay ji.
Okay. Utkarsh is in Malaysia now. So he's a final year economic students at University of Nottingham in Malaysia, and very dynamic youth. Currently, he become the president of Students Association of the university. So first of all, congratulations for being appointed as a leader of Students Union. It means you have the leadership qualities. So so we would like to welcome you as the speaker of this conference. So please go ahead and summarize your thoughts in few minutes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sanjay ji. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you to Gandhi Institute Rangsit for giving me this opportunity. So just quickly, I don't think I would take all the 5 minutes. Just quickly, that I'd like to sum up some things that I have noticed. I'm not sure if I could really call them trends, but as you all know, it's quite obvious that education has become increasingly online, with online lectures, online tutorials, take-home exams, and as such, right? So, I mean, at a certain level, online learning has really eliminated or drastically reduced out-of-class activities, such as social gatherings, sports, club societies. Thus, students nowadays have more time on their hands. Therefore, they're looking for side hustles or looking for working part-time, which is really helping them build up skills. Like, it could be, right now, the trend is like dominantly trading in cryptocurrency. as such, or because they can really monitor the ups and downs of the market whilst studying on screen as well. And for example, opening bakery shops or opening small businesses on Instagram, that has become a really big side hustle, and students have been starting working part-time while studying as well. So I think that's something that I'm not sure. I'm not really well versed in career planning or as such, because I'm still studying. But something that I could really notice is that it's become more and more difficult getting employed, especially now. And hence times when people are unemployed or they're studying, right? These activities such as side hustles and trading in currency has become really important. That makes you stand out from other candidates who are not really doing anything and just staying at home and just doing online classes while they have other time to use. And so while keeping in touch with trends, for instance, like data analytics is something that has become a sought out skill. That's something a lot of employers have told me. That has become, they've been looking into it, and the world has become more and more online. So data has become a big part of it. So yeah, these are some of the things. I'm not sure if you could really call it trends. They're some of my observations during the online times, like I like to say, that I've noticed that has shaped career planning for individuals as well as education nowadays.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Was very brief. Okay, if I ask you in one, what will be a concluding statement?
Well, concluding statement, what I would give advice to my peers or something is that while you're studying online, do look for side hustles, do look for something that you're really interested in, which you could, build up your CV or build up your skills with. That would be really beneficial for you to get employed. That's just something that I've noticed.
Yeah, very good advice. Okay, now let's come back to Thailand. So I would like to give this opportunity to speak next. Khun Poi. Khun Poi, please come on the camera. See, Khun Poi, are you there? Jyoti.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Where are you? Open camera.
Oh, sorry, I have dogs barking.
You want to wait for that or what?
Okay.
Okay, you're here. Thank you.
Okay, hello, everybody.
Before you speak, I want to say a few words about you. Her name is Khun Jyoti Papax. She has been many people who are in Thailand, they must recognize her. She has been organized lots of events and activities with the Indian community in Thailand, especially the wedding, large and small events. So she has a lots of experience in working last 10-15 years in Thailand. And when I was talking her as a speaker, so what strikes me that there's a lot of things affected in her career as an event manager. So I would like to hear from all of us would like to hear from her how she's coping up from that setback that she has due to COVID. So please, Jyoti, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. First of all, I really am honored to be here to listen to people about education, and also today I'm going to share my experience during COVID-19 era. It's really affected my career, yes, because we normally organize big events, with gathered more than 100,000, 10,000 people in Thailand. So right now we really cannot have any events. So I think right now we what we can do is the virtual events like what we are having now. So we need to change. We need to shift our it's not like change, but we need to adapt ourselves to cope with the situation. So I think this is very challenging, the COVID-19. No matter what education you have done, I have been graduated in Mahidol University Business Administration and then masters in international management. So I think it's really challenging, COVID-19. So I actually use a lot of my education in the past to for this COVID-19 to connect people in Thailand by using new technology, like in order to sell or to adapt myself in this COVID-19 era. So I sell things online. So online, what we can do now, we stay home, right? So what we can do is online. So now I'm learning more on online business. So I think keep learning is key for this era. Yes, Ka. So I think it's really affected my business. Yes. So just hang on it, and then we will get through this situation together, and then we will be back to the live events again. So yes, Ka, Kun Sanjay.
Okay, thank you so much. So tell us about what.
Thank you very much, Ka.
What other business you are doing now?
So wow, from event management to right now I'm selling food online. So I'm selling food business, food business. People have to eat, right? So now my food business is really going well online. So I do live on Facebook to sell my pork and beef online. So it's like sun-dried pork and beef Thai style. So it's really going well. So yeah. So yeah, from event management to Mekha online. So it's really fun, and it's fun to spend time with families and family. No friends right now. Friends online, yes, but family at home. So it's good time to spend time at home, relax, and enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Stay safe, naka, everyone. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, now thank you, Jyoti. I'd like to invite Miss Vidushi Singh from Thailand. Vidushi, are you here? Vidushi?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Hi.
let me introduce you Vidushi first. So Vidushi, she is a marketing professional, and she was in Delhi before and moved into Thailand in 2017. And she has developed lots of skills, including the marketing, media advisory, as well as business problem solving skills. And recently, like not very 2 years back, she actually founded a company called Plethora IT Services. So as a full service company, she has been focusing on customers belongs to SMEs. So I would like to welcome Vidushi, that please share your views about the topic, how the world can learn from the COVID-19 circumstances, as well as what are the new trends in education you can identify, and how the youth can build a career around that. Yeah.
I'd like to thank Sanjay ji, my co-speakers, and everyone tuning in for this opportunity to share my views today about new trends in education and career planning. I truly believe that education has to be more well-rounded than it has ever been. Formal education that we get from schools and colleges is crucial, but far from complete. The real-world skills that we learn from family, friends, peers, colleagues, and experiences is what completes us as individuals and professionals. If there's something that 2020 and the pandemic have taught us, is that the technology is a major contributing factor in how education is imparted. We have seen a complete change in the method of learning and teaching methodologies in the stay-at-home era. There has been, of course, a drastic change in the way traditional education is being taught now. It is more of a customized learning. In this online world, it is more important for parents to learn as well. So they can help with the new technology to help children understand it well and deliver the desired results. Education for me is not just getting a degree from an elite school, rather it should be preparing children for life activities. Education should not be restricted to learning from schools or teachers. It is something that you can write at home with your siblings, parents, grandparents, because a child's mind is very receptive and they can immediately grasp the understanding or the nuances of starting financial planning, investment, or professional development. Take them to banks or your office once in a while. Make them understand daily routine tasks as a professional. This will not only help them give confidence, but also a sense of pride that they are being able to contribute to society by becoming the leaders of future. Parents have to support the children by ensuring the kids are pursuing their hobbies and teach them that this can be a source of entrepreneurship journey for them, as relying only on one source of income can be very volatile, and this we have all seen during unprecedented times of COVID. So now career planning has to be more versatile than ever. We need to make that change in the mindset of people where they understand that apart from being the traditional professionals, other fields of work are equally important and of high value in the economy. So you can ask yourself some questions or take some personality tests available online to understand what you like, understand what your skill sets are, and how they match with your qualification and aptitude. So if you get these puzzles right, you will have many more options on the drawing board for yourself, where you can add value in this ecosystem. So going digital has in fact opened a lot of doors for individuals in all fields. By taking a few certification and understanding digital technologies, you can start building your career path no matter how young or old you are. Going beyond technology, we need to imbibe core values of being honest, trustworthy, and hardworking, no matter what age of life they are. If you incorporate these values, it will be easier to understand that nothing is in life and comes easy. It helps us to understand that you never have to be afraid of trying new things, and you should always believe in your core convictions. Remember, success does not come on its own. You need to be consistent in your actions. After all, you can't wait for an opportunity to knock. You need to find the right door and knock it or even create that door when needed. So one thing I would like to tell everybody is dream big and work hard towards it. Have faith in yourself. Everything will work out at the end of the day. Thank you.
Okay, what is your concluding statement, Vidushi?
Statement is self-study and self-education is very important in all stages of life. If you think you're the smartest person in the room, you'll not be able to learn. But if you think that you learn from others, you'll be able to tap that knowledge.
The sound is the problem actually. Can you fix the sound, please?
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
No.
Hello? Is it better?
Use microphone if you can. Yeah.
Is it better now?
No, not really. No problem. We'll get back to you again. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Vidushi, for, I think we got your point actually. So already got written your point to say. Now, let me, there are few people that I would like to recognize their presence here before we move forward. Sushil Dhanukaji, namaste. Welcome to our program. And so we'll get Rahul ji, namaskar. स्वागत है आपका. बसंत डुगर जी, आपका भी स्वागत है.
नमस्कार जी, धन्यवाद सर.
धनुका जी नमस्ते. नमस्कार. So in the middle, I will just say hello to them. But we're coming to the main topic now. Okay, now the next is that I would like to invite. Okay. Vishnu Pandey ji. Vishnu ji, say hello.
Hello.
Okay. Can you come on now? Okay. Before I invite to talk Vishnu, the person who I talked first about the conference is Vishnu. 2 months back, we sitting in the Emporium with a Starbucks coffee, and I was talking to him that how to engage youth, and we had a 2 hours discussion, and then we planned something, and then he gave me one condition that he is ready to speak, but he will not be the first speaker. So I accept that condition, and so you are not the first speaker now. In the beginning, we were planning to have one youth one time, but then I thought that we want to have a perspective, common perspective of the group of youth today. So that's why the starting point, the person I discussed about this whole initiative is Vishnu Pandey. We call him Vicky Pandey, a very young, dynamic person. He has a company working, a lot of people working with him. He's also from IT background. So he's the ex-head of marketing of Huba. I don't know how many of you know about Huba, but he will tell you. And then CEO and co-founder of Digital 8 company. And he's also CEO and director of Infosi AI. So welcome the young, dynamic Vishnu Pandey. We'd like to hear with you in brief, in 5 minutes, what we can learn from you, what our youth can learn from you, from your experience and your vision, and how they can plan the career with the new trends in education. Vishnuji.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction, Sanjay sir. And thank you for Rangsit University and Achan Manu for giving this opportunity to youth to give their opinion. There's very less people who listen to us, especially when they are matured enough. But you're giving us an opportunity to speak out, especially on the educational system. And also, I agree upon the points where speakers, most of the points, especially where he was talking about life learning and creating value and moving towards sustainability. But I would like to scope down into disruption of educational system. And just for the disclaimer, this is just my opinion and from my experiences, right? So today what I'm talk about is future of education. According to the future of education will be shifting toward from traditional routine education towards more of critical and creative practical learning, right? Because imagine when back in the days before internet, when the internet launched, we didn't know what kind of job it would create. It was Web 1.0 where Google gave out information, Yahoo gave out information. It was one-sided information. And then Web 2.0 came in. Even then, we didn't know where the social media, what kind of job it would create, what kind of interaction would be created. And in future, where Web 3.0 will be released about blockchain technology or even AI, machine learning, we don't know, it will go beyond our imagination. So educational institute have to be preparing their students on how to adapt with the transformation that will be happening in the future, right? I used to be an ex-head of marketing of Hubba and Texas. We were a digital transformational company helping corporates and schools organizing hackathons. And by end of the last year, we organized a hackathon for Shrewsbury International School because nowadays schools are learning how they have to shift to give their students a perspective on critical thinking and creative thinking. So what happened was we came out with sustainable problems about environment, and we invited high schoolers into this hackathon program, and we threw this problem to them. And what happened is they went beyond their imagination and they came up with solutions that could actually be practical in the real world. I don't know if the school took it further to the next step, but the solutions were really epic. And even new schools like Warsaw International School, where they have a hub, a dedicated space for students to have a full dedicated space for inspirational learning beyond the routine system, right? So educational institutions have to understand they have to go beyond the routine stuff that they have and prepare the students for what will happen in the future. But also it's not only about the mind shift for the institution, but also about the student themselves. They have to understand this shift will happen. And they also understand your friends in the real world, in the job market are your competitors. So what kind of value do you have towards those organizations, or even as an individual that is hiring you, what value do you have? What extra weapon that you have that you're upscaling or reskilling, right? So you have to understand what value proposition that we can create towards that organization. Also, due to this pandemic, digital transformation have occurred in educational system where institutions were not prepared at all, and most of the institutions got paralyzed suddenly due to this change because they were very comfortable with their routine system. Now, when they have to adapt this transformation, they're trying to learn on the daily basis on how to move forward, but still there are still many gaps in it. So conclusion, what I believe, traditional schooling will be gone slowly, and there will be more of design thinking based learning, practical learning. Even Ivy League schools like Stanford and Harvard have more practical learning. So that's the opportunity that I think, and that's the opportunity that I think future will hold. That's all from me.
Okay. Concluding statement, Vishnuji.
Concluding statement is understand the future. It's not a one-way street. It's up and down, and it might change anytime, right? So have more critical thought process. Have more creative thought process where you can be different from at least different from AI, machine learning that will be coming in future that can replace your job. What kind of sentiments or what kind of solutions that you can provide differently to the problem that is already occurring. So have that weapon ready, and even institute have to prepare the students, their product more better. Otherwise, all the school are just under one routine system where all the products will be coming at the same manufacturing unit. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, just to let you know, everybody, Vishnuji, he is the son of Sri Gopal Pandeji, who is also in the conference now. Gopalji, just say hello, namaste. थोड़ा unmute करिए थोड़ा सा.
Hello leaders, how are you young leaders? Welcome to the Sanjay Ji's group.
Thank you so much. I hope you are enjoying it. Yeah.
I am enjoying, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gopalji. Okay, moving to the next. As I said earlier, we have some senior people here. Sushil ji, jara say hello boliye. Sushil Dhanuka ji. Namaskar ji.
Hello, so namaste sabko. Sanjay ji, it's a very good interaction. The youth is you are giving the opportunity to youth to speak out.
And trying to learn from them. They have lots of.
I think all the youth will get motivated by this type of talk.
Thank you.
Good for that. Nice. Thanks for arranging all these things.
Thank you, ji.
Keep up. Good speakers.
Thank you. Okay, now moving next. Let's go. I invite to Megha Jogani. Megha ji, please come. Megha Jogani.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just where are you? I cannot see your screen.
My video's on.
You are here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me first introduce you to everybody. Megha Jogani, she was born and raised in Bangkok, just to let you know. And she has done MBA in marketing. And she lived across Thailand, India, America, and she has a global perspective in her life. She is currently the business development manager at Premier Thailand company. And she worked with a wide range of clients, especially tourism and hospitality industries. And she was also involved in the Thai-Indian Wedding Association that provides connects all the industry stakeholders. And her role as a manager is to focus on the marketing of the recently formed organization, which is the TIVA. She has started her career as a business analyst and currently working as an IT project manager for digital transformation project achievements. So we would like to welcome Meghaji, and let's hear from her what's her experience and how she can inspire other youth. Meghaji.
Thank you for the introduction, and also thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform today. I hope everyone is doing well and is safe at this time. Well, anyway, the current global crisis is changing both the educational and career landscape. During these uncertain times, it is difficult to plan for your future, but one has to adapt to new trends and forge ahead. While it has been a few years since I've graduated, a lot has changed on the education front recently. Learning is now mostly either virtual or hybrid. There is a rise in the use of apps. We see a decline in attention spans, and nowadays students prefer self-paced learning. In order to keep up with these new trends, students must keep in mind three things. Number one, it is important to understand the different mediums of education. Getting a traditional degree is not the only thing that will guarantee a good job, or in some cases, a successful business. You need to move with the times. Stay up to date with the latest innovations from your field, and also understand the importance of personalized or focused learning because it is more likely to promote progress. Number two, you can get a strong overall foundation through education, but if you don't stand out and bring in something unique, you will blend in a crowd. Everyone works hard and everyone is smart. So you really have to know a topic well to take on the competition that is out there. To be unique, you have to have a combination of a specialization you're focusing on, and as well as soft skills that future employers are looking for, such as critical thinking, creativity, communication, teamwork, and so on. And the third one is, while you are going through your education, it is important to get a breadth of exposure that can come from experiences in different geographies, internships, and projects. All of this helps students to step into the real world. Personally, my educational journey has helped me gain a necessary global exposure. While pursuing my undergrad and my MBA, I specialized in marketing and did various projects and internships related to the field. Moving on, as a fresh graduate, it is always nerve-wracking to move on to the next phase in life and to try and plan your career. Certain factors have evolved over time, such as workforces are more diverse now. There is flexibility in work schedules and workspaces. And lately, we have seen a huge rise in e-commerce and digital transactions. As trends for career planning continue to change, there are three things to follow for this as well. Number one, doing a good job is very important, but if you are not continuously learning, then you will most probably not grow in your position. It is important to learn every day because over time, it helps you become better at your own job. And it also opens up more opportunities for you. Number two, have a vision. Ask yourself where you want to be, say 5 or 10 years down the line. Then set goals for yourself. Make sure your short-term actions align with these goals and work towards it. Most likely, you will have to refine your vision and evolve every few years, depending on how things are coming along for you. And third, lastly, understand what you want out of the job. The expectations of millennials and Gen Z are different from older generations. Millennials like myself are looking for much more these days. We like exploring new things and are constantly trying to find new opportunities. Switching jobs is a lot more common because not only are we trying to make more money, but at the same time, we are also focusing on job satisfaction, which is not only driven by monetary factors, but also non-monetary factors. We are more aware of certain things in general and are not afraid to ask questions about the business, such as how sustainable is it? How socially responsible is it? and how is it affecting the mental well-being of its employees. Personally, over the last few years at my job, I've learned about new industries and how to work with different clients on a daily basis. I've evolved my marketing skills that are critical for this job. And my goal is to be a marketing executive. And this position has helped me get various types of experiences to move to the next level soon. Well, I hope these few advice topics have helped those who are studying or planning for their career. And just to conclude, it is a tough time right now, and lives and livelihoods have been impacted. Lives because of the human toll, and livelihood because it has affected families deeply. It is during this time, it is important to stay positive and motivated. Whether you are a fresh graduate or someone who has been working for decades, we all need to come together and help each other out. Well, I hope this has helped, and in case anyone has any more questions, feel free to get in touch with me, and I'd be most happy to help out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Meghaji. Is Deepak ji here? Deepak Jogani ji, your father?
I think so. I see him on the call, yes.
Okay, anyway, Deepak ji, welcome. Can you just say hello? Okay, you might be busy. Anyway, so Megha is the daughter of Deepak Jogani ji. So people who are in the jewelry sector in Thailand, they must know about Deepak ji very well. And currently he's traveling to overseas, but he was very happy that he could join us today also. So thank you, Megha ji, for your, can you just quickly, what is your concluding statement?
So like I said, it's a tough time right now in terms of planning your careers, definitely, because these times are uncertain. But we need to come together and help each other out and be there for each other. If not, then it's going to be difficult.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, after Megha, now we have the youngest speaker in this forum. So I would like to invite Shreya. Shreya, can you just come and say hello? Shreya ji, Shreya Agrawal.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So Shreya is the youngest speaker in this forum. I would like to welcome Shreya. Just to introduce you, Shreya, first. As I said, she is just 17 years old and just completed high school. So you can say that the children who are moving to the university from the school have a very different, sometime anxiety, sometime planning for future, which university go there, what I study. There are hundreds of questions. Even parents also try to help them. But we are so lucky that our youth or our young generation like Shreya, they are very well exposed with the culture at home as well as in the friend circle. So we are so fortunate to have such a youth who can inspire, not only plan for their own career but also inspire others. So Shreya, she's interested in the medical sciences, so she's very ambitious about that. So let's hear from Shreya. What's her plan, and is there anything that we all can help you or inspire you or motivate you to in your career? So Shreya, please.
Firstly, I would like to thank Sanjay uncle, Rangsit University, and Dr. Manu to give me the opportunity to speak on this platform. As he spoke, I am the youngest one, so please, I apologize in advance for any mistake. The topic I read was new trends in education and career planning. So as we see, every year we are seeing a change of trends in almost all the sectors, and there is no case different in the field of education. This is one of the areas where we see a lot of remarkable changes every year. It makes serious impacts on everyone's perspective on education and learning outcomes. It depends on a lot of factors, including available resources like what options are affordable for larger society and the changing needs or demands of the present generation students. Education trends are dynamic in nature. Like if I comment on the augmented reality, the knowledge retention improves drastically nowadays when students learn from the content which involves visuals, audio, or video, which have been lacking in the traditional lectures at school. This is one of the reasons why school have accepted the virtual reality with the both hands. In fact, virtual reality is not only seeing something but also experiencing the subject, which helps students learn with better understanding. Teachers can find this as a feasible option to teach them complex concepts with comparatively a lesser time with the additional benefit of knowledge and attention. While the notable trend in this generation we see is the personalized training. Personalized learning is like the students can learn without worrying about the location, the time constraints. This even changes the way of learning process. The students can learn without the barrier of strength, weakness, or pace of understanding. And while we see ourselves, we do not forget the students with special needs. It's in fact a game changer for students with special needs as they get flexibility or freedom to learn at their pace and to be competent enough to be at the end of the academic year. For instance, like apps like Dragon Speak are assisting dyslexic students to learn through audiobooks to overcome their limitations to textbook methods. As Chanjangal mentioned that I am interested in medical science. So the reason I have been taking medical sciences are various. Like if I see medical science, I have diverse medical career opportunities. If anywhere in the world, medicine jobs are easily findable and doctors are in high demand in the current situation in the world. We have been seeing coronavirus and doctors are the most in demand. Even if I talk financially, careers in healthcare offer high salaries and job safety. However, as noble as the profession is, it is also the toughest to master and one of the most difficult courses to complete. A simple glance at the entrance exams for admission in top medical colleges will show how competitive the field has become. Right from the beginning to the end, the medical courses students face a lot of problems and challenges which are far greater magnitude than the students of other courses. The first I may say is the stress. The medical students have very much of stress. Then I think we all are aware that the unending course of medical, it takes several years to complete and become a fully qualified doctor. While we see that finance is also a very big thing because finance will remain a challenge for a considerable amount of time. The course itself is long and quite expensive. With adequate financial options and
मैं एक Zoom call है मैं वेट कर रहा हूँ किसका वो आएगा सोने को स्पीच वीच दे रही है
talent, it will
नहीं
be
नहीं पहुंच गए
pursue a career in medicine. Although the medical field has evolved and many new streams have emerged, the basic concepts of the study are closely related and similar to each other. The sound knowledge of medicine is unshakable patience and unwavering confidence is a must to pursue a career in medicine. However, students should have a backup option along with planned strategy to deal with all the problems which are sure to arise with pursuing it. While career planning, if we talk about, I'm not that aware of it, but I feel that finding a job can be a challenge for youth. They must determine what careers are available, what their interests are, and what skills they have or need to develop. Numerous resources are available to help youth get a sense of their interest and skills, as well as gain employment experience and learn about employment opportunities. I think in conclusion, I would say that the educators are, of course, an integral element of the learning ecosystem, and that is why it is important to familiarize them with present generation competencies and skills so that students can experience the best of the technologies and the solutions available now. Thank you.
Okay, Shreya, what is your concluding statement?
I just spoke that the educators are, of course, an integral element of the learning ecosystem, and that is why it is important to familiarize them with the present generation competencies and skills so that students can experience the best of technologies and solutions available now.
Thank you so much, Shreya. Thanks a lot. Okay, moving next now. Jagriti is here. Jagriti Shukla. Jagriti?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, Jagriti, she is engineer by heart. What is she mentioned that she's engineer, but I don't know what is the difference between the engineer by heart or engineer by mind. Anyway, so she worked for Agoda company and very well trained youth, and she is a daughter of our Tejasvi Shuklaji. So we welcome you as a speaker in the first International Youth Leadership Conference. So we all would like to hear your views about new trends in education and how youth can develop career around that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the intro, sir. So hello, everyone. It's my pleasure and honor to be addressing the first International Youth Leadership Conference here today. I'm Jagriti Shukul. I'm a software engineer at Agoda and have spent my last 8 years specializing in software quality assurance now. I graduated here at King Mongkut University in 2013 and have worked on multiple projects with Accenture and Agoda. It is my personal belief that formal education lays a very strong foundation for a successful career. It opens the gates for opportunities that were previously unattainable. Good quality education clearly allows a person to jumpstart his or her career and reach new heights at a young age. However, I have also observed that as years goes by, people tend to gradually forget the theories and the frameworks that they had learned in colleges and universities. Even I also forget. But there are no teachers and professors to guide them in making decisions while they are on the job or running a business. At this point, what I personally feel, there are only two things that will guarantee that a person continues growing in this career. The first one, I believe it's curiosity. Once Albert Einstein said that I have no special talents, I'm only passionately curious. So the curiosity is the beginning of intelligence of wisdom. It's a genuine urge to find how things work. I have seen that people who observe and absorb everything going around themselves can quickly expand their knowledge and rise through their careers. The second thing, the very important ingredient for a successful career is a self-learning. In school, you are taught a lesson and then given a test. But in real life, it's totally opposite. You are given a test that teaches you a lesson. A person who stops learning also stops growing nowadays. If you are really curious to know more and willing to invest time and effort in self-learning, be assured you will eventually be successful. I'm from IT field where technology keeps changing rapidly. I have to update myself from time to time to match the new grad and the new upcoming talent. Let me give you a real example for my own career journey. I studied software engineering at the university. I was taught the basics of software development and testing. But however, my current job at Agoda requires me to work on complex software used by millions of people in over 100 countries and which involve 40 languages. I firmly believe that it was only my interest, my urge to learn and understand everything happening around me that has helped me rise to a senior position at my job today. In your professional career, you will definitely come across problems that were never presented to you in your universities or colleges. It is only your curiosity and the self-learning effort that will guide you towards success. And I personally believe that problems and experience make you stronger and push you to the right path. As I end my keynote today, I wish all my friends and all the members here for the great success in all their life journey. And may this conference achieve huge success. Thanks for Sanjay sir again to guiding the youth to be the leaders of tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everyone. Yeah. Sorry, sir, I think you're on mute.
Thank you, Jagrati. Well, very well prepared speech, and I can see that you are speaking from your heart.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot. Just to let you know, everybody, she is the daughter of Tejasvi Suklaji. He's one of the prominent member of our Thai Indian community.
Thank you.
And somehow the parents also have a huge role in developing the children and youth. So that's why I want to little bit recognize the value of parents in the youth, youth life, because they are the one who nurture them, who help them, assist them, live together every day, and then motivate them to do something in the life. Not only emotional support, psychological support, financial support. So the role of parents is definitely very big here. So I would like to thank all the parents who joined this conference today. Speakers are important, but parents are most important. I can say that. Okay, now moving next. Thank you, Jagati, one more time.
Thank you, sir.
We have a very senior editor from Doordarshan News from Bharat. Sri Gandhi.
Thank you.
Gandhi, welcome to first International Youth Leadership Conference. We are really happy that you find time from your busy schedule, and I have been following you from last many years. You are doing wonderful work, not only in the media sector, but also in the socio-economical, political, cultural, and especially promoting the green economy, which is something where agriculture side. We're very happy to see the O.P. Yadavji, the person who did development journalism as a core of his strength. So he worked for Doordarshan News, Government of India, and a very senior editor and chairman of Parliament Press of South Asia since 2018. He is also awarded by the President for his outstanding media services, and Hindi scholar nominated in 2019. He loves Hindi. Dhanukaji must be happy to connect with journalist, our friend O.P. Yadavji. And he has done PhD and recently involved in the SAARC nation parliaments. So very impressive profile, O.P. Yadavji. We would like to hear you very briefly. What is your opinion what is your guidance, inspiration for the youth?
Sanjay ji, thank you for inviting me. I'm very much happy to join this first International Youth Leadership Conference and Indo-Thai Youth Assembly. I'm very much thankful to you and your colleagues and all teams. Today topic is new trends in education and career planning. So I'm just brief a few points which I make in my mind. So I want to explain these points. COVID-19 pandemic is clearly a sign to changing times. It has brought glaring change across several sectors. Education is one of them. The outbreak of coronavirus resulted in the closure of schools and colleges to counter the threat of the deadly virus. Students were confined to their home without a clear-cut plan on how to continue their learning. The inaccessibility to physical classroom accelerated a new educational pedagogy with digital at its heart. A recent report also projected the growth of online education market in India is reached 96 billion 2021. Same situation is also globally. Realizing the unprecedented learning for students is the need of our educational institutions in world have been quick to invent the education delivery to students. In no time, the traditional check-taught teaching model transformed into one that is driven by technology and focus on skill development. This has resulted in new education trends emerging to stay in the post-COVID-19 world. Just I focus some new trends also, which are the new trends and a new era in this global. The globally health pandemic catalyzed the educational institutions as well educators to adopt a new way to teach students. To meet the current demand, first part, developments such as online education and personalized learning scales up massively. A more and more learns length on the bandwagon, the trends in here to stay even after the current health scare has died down. Let us look the emerging trends to watch out for post-COVID-19. Blending learning. Several education institutions were willing to adopt a mix of face-to-face and online teaching, a blending learning approach. In this setup, students will require to physically attend classroom on fewer days. A blending learning approach is a new model in the new model for current delivery of courses. Another is personalized learning. The global pandemic has enabled personalized learning to students will help them to learn at their pace and at a time to their choice. This will also augment the use of artificial intelligence to help personalize a student learning experience. With an enabled personalized learning experience, every student would benefit from a unique educational approach that is a tailor-made for or her or him individual needs. Leading education edtech platforms such as a Bright Tutti offer to adjective collection, online homework, tutorial, and assessments. Changing role of teachers in this pandemic. Needless to say, online education cannot replace educators. However, the role of teachers will be redefined. With the booming of edtech platform to augment online learning, the role of teachers from that a knowledge given will gradually shift to one of a facilitator in the pedagogy system to help students become a lifelong learner. The rapidity which the shift in learning system took place brought certainly changes for the teachers. All the teachers have to be trained for online teaching as well. This will go to long way to ensure that they are comfortable to technology and will able to seamlessly switch between online and offline modes of teaching in curriculum. Demand for short-term course and skill-based courses also in this pandemic period. The changing global economic scenario has put many at risk to losing their jobs. There are new age skills such as artificial intelligence, deep learning, data analyst, and so other era also that have gained prominence over time to remain agile and relevant in the job market ever after COVID-19. Students are required to continuously upskill themselves with industry-ready courses. Students need to learn the right skill that help one stay resourceful in the long term. Post-COVID, the world will be the different place as educational institutions open after the pandemic bids us goodbye. The new social distancing rules will further change and existing ways of imparting education. The online education that has picked up pace in the current quarantine period will be a game changer in the future for the education system of India and global also. There are so many other issues also, but I am not explaining because the so many key speakers are there. So we will listen them also. I am just happy to attend this conference and I am very much thankful to Gandhi Institute and Rangsit University authority, staffs, students also, and especially to Sanjay ji for inviting me this important youth conference and connect me and listening me this important conference. Thank you, Sanjay ji.
Thank you so much, O.P. Yadav ji, Dr. O.P. Yadav ji. So thanks a lot for connecting with us. Now moving next. I would like to recognize the presence of Sri K.C. Agrawal ji. Namaskar ji. for joining this conference. So just say hello, please. Just say hello. Casey ji, thoda hello boliye unmute karke.
Namaskar, everybody. So delighted to join this youth conference organized by Sanjay ji and Rangsit University Dean Chief Mr. Mano. Thankful to all of you. I'm enjoying and listening, and wish you the great success. Thank you.
Okay, Jayachandran ji, are you here? Just say hello. Jayachandran ji.
Namaskar. Thank you very much for inviting, and it's really a wonderful event. Nice to hear a lot of information from our youth and a lot of experience from different people. Thank you, Sanjay ji.
Okay, good. Thank you, ji. Then we have one more person. Mayur ji, namaste. Please just say hello. Mayur Malik. Mayur ji.
Yes.
Just say
yes. Hello. Thank you, Sanjay ji, for the wonderful evening. Really having a good time listening everyone, and all the opinions and views. So it's very good to have so many people on a good platform, and really enjoying the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, our next speaker is Sonia Parwani ji. Sonia ji, please come. Okay. Sonia, okay.
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So let me introduce you briefly, Sonia. After completing her master's from National University of Singapore, Sonia started working in Bangkok as a project manager for fast-growing digital marketing company agency. Currently, she is a strategy and operations consultant for Hong Kong-based venture capital. She worked closely with the founders on the go-to-market strategy for their invested brands and set up the operational units needed to execute these strategies. In her free time, she enjoys working out in the gym, spending time with her family and friends, and look forward to traveling post-pandemic after COVID-19. So that's the brief, impressive profile of Sonia ji. We are so happy that you have joined. Sonia ji is daughter of Sri Dilip Parwani ji. So we will hear from him after some time, but I would like to give opportunity to Sonia now. Please go ahead and discuss about what are the new trends in education, how the youth can turn around.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me well? Okay. Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank you for tuning in today. And
One second. Okay, please go ahead, Sonia.
Yeah. So I remember when I was graduating, I was quite clueless about what should be my right step forward. I got some pretty good advices like apply for internships, do networking, build your CV. But today I would like to share with you all an advice that I wish I had heard earlier because it would have made my journey more enjoyable and less intimidating. And that is, don't fall prey to the rat race. This is your career goal, and with the trends in education and work, we can actually better leverage our unique skills and talent to build our career. So don't simply do it because your peers are doing it or because you're clueless right now and the university is recommending it, because somebody else's journey might not be the right one for you. Now, I would like to explain why this is important and how you can actually build a great career for yourself, avoiding this rat race. Firstly, it would require a research and most importantly into yourself. You should definitely work in an industry or in a field that you are passionate about and can spend hours and hours working on it. Why? Because the world is rapidly changing and we need to evolve and stay ahead. So when you're going to be working in the field that you can spend hours in, you're bound to evolve, learn new trends, do your own research, and actually have a plan and laid out and have the motivation to take it forward. You'll actually have a natural knack in that industry, and that's going to reflect in your work and make you move up the career ladder pretty quickly. Now, how do you find that passion or know that the field that you have chosen is right for you? And practical experience. So you could do internships, you could look for volunteering opportunities in your university or outside. And if nothing works out, then why not make an opportunity for yourself? Now you have opportunities in your fingertip due to digitalization. Reach out to your local businesses, your friends and family, and offer to help by providing your expertise. Also, you can also, if you want to learn more about it, there are courses available for you on websites such as Udemy, Coursera, or even YouTube. So not only this would add some practical experience into your CV, it also make you pick up some soft skills on the way. So that is why when you would go into an interview, you can actually share your grand level experience, share your personality, and that's what's gonna make you stand out. This brings me to the next point, which is that every career goal is unique and hence has a different path. Growing up, we were first taught that go get your education and then you can build a career in a field based on what you have learned. However, there has been a shift in this thinking because now you can actually decide what you want to do and get the relative education for it fairly quickly. I think this is a great shift because education right now is not limited just to a school or a degree, but you can actually become professionally certified online. For example, Google and Facebook have their own courses that can make you an expert in digital marketing. There has been a rise in vocational training studies that can actually give you the skills required in the field you're interested. And also, there are more technical certifications out there, such as PMP for project management, CFA for banking. And these alternative education have actually become an equivalent to a bachelor or a master's degree in certain fields. So now, once you have your education, how do you bring it to the real world and build a career out for yourself? For that, go beyond the brand name. Make sure that the company that you're going to be stepping into is going to provide you with the experience that you would need and give you a platform for you to learn and advance in your career. After I graduated, I knew I wanted to start my own business. And that is why working for a big corporation might not have given me the ground level experience that I needed. That is why I opted to work for a young, fast growing company. It was great because it provided, because I got to run innovative projects. I was able to really learn how strategic decisions are made and executed. I was able to really hone my soft skills as well of managing my team and communicating with the executives. And it wasn't only a launchpad into my current job, but also it made me aware of my authentic leadership style. And in a year, I've learned what I needed, which might have taken years for me to learn in a bigger company. And as I said, this was my journey and yours may be different, but make sure that you do your research and really evaluate why are you going to take this next step forward and what you're going to get out of it. How is it going to make you reach your goal? Currently, there are multiple career opportunities out there for you, which might not have been accessible to us a decade ago. For example, you could actually work for a remote job. You could actually freelance. You could become an entrepreneur or a digital creator. You could search for these opportunities on communities such as LinkedIn and Google and Facebook groups. You could also build your own online store by on Instagram or using more professional platforms such as Shopify and WordPress. And also there are platforms out there aside from Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook where you can actually monetize the videos and the articles that you have written. That is why when do your research and pick an environment that allows you to channel both your education and your passion to actually make the impact that you want to add. And with that, I would like to conclude by saying that it's never too late to start and don't be afraid to take risks and be creative. Discover your passion, have an eye towards your goal, and do your research and keep working towards it with like confidence, dedication, and your ambition. You might not have things figured out. You might reach a lot of obstacles, but remember that there's a reason why you chose this path, and don't easily be inclined to take the road frequently traveled and do what others are doing. Instead, channel your passion, learn what all is out there, how you could actually overcome those challenges, because when you would actually not fall into that rat race and pick a career out by yourself and work and make a path that you wanted, not only will achieving your goal be rewarding, but this whole journey towards it would be a lot more enjoyable. So yeah, that's what I had to share with you all today.
Thank you so much, Sonia ji. Very well said. You have highlighted a lot of things actually that we can note down all these points. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move to the next now. I would like to invite Akanksha Singh. Akanksha ji,
Yes,
hello.
sir. Yes, sir. Namaste, Sanjay ji.
Okay, Akanksha, she's a freelance performer now, and she like to teach students. We also love to meet multicultural people. Just 1.5, almost about a year ago, she arrived in Thailand here. And by qualification, she is engineer in electronics and communications. Electronic and communications engineer. And she did her master's in human resources from Jaipur, Bharat. And just to let you know, she is a state level swimming champion and like to try new things all the time. She's also our regular yoga practitioners. And we met her in the yoga class, and her husband worked for Indian Overseas Bank. And I find that she is willing to volunteer in our social activities. So thank you, Akanksha. We are happy to invite you as a speaker for this conference.
Most welcome, sir.
Please.
Swadika, everyone. I hope you all are doing good in this COVID crisis period. We are here to share our views on the topic, new trend in education and career planning. Before we discuss further, try to understand what is education. Education is what? A siksha. We say in Hindi, we siksha. The process of teaching and learning, especially in a school or college. From era of Nalanda universities and Takshila universities to the peak of Gurukul era, there to the classroom teaching, education has now evolved into digital learning. The classroom teaching, which all of us have experienced through our schooling days, a teacher-centric approach where a teacher is responsible to complete all a centric portion of the syllabus in predefined period. A student are individually responsible to fulfill the assignments and homework and are subjected to the marketing system. Now, this system leads to a lesser focus on a student learning and undue focus on the grades. During present COVID time, we have seen the teacher-centric education system digitalized to live online classes, where students are now only one of the multiple faces displayed on the screen. There is less control over the learning imparted to students. On the other hand, the process is digitalized of education has introduced a new trend, making education totally student-centric. The emergence of self-paced online classes from leading universities like Oxford and MIT's, mock sites, that is massive open online courses with websites like Coursera, DataCamp, edX, teaching sites like Byju's, has massively transformed the entire education while keeping in mind the engagement value of the students. Enrolling in mock website requires a learner to connect with peers across the world for collaborate project efforts. The new education trends have opened new employment opportunities which lead us to chart new career plan. This brings us to a question, what is career plan? Career plan is a constant process that we shall visit all the way throughout our career. Our career plan helps us to identify our next career move by evaluating all the options that are available to us. Do you all remember when our uncles used to ask, what do you want to become? Or what do you want to be when you grow up? The same question now has changed. What problem do you want to solve when you grow up? This is because today each one of us would like to be more than one thing, to have more than one job, to pursue more than one career over the course of working lives, with access to self-paced learning and the online courses available to us. We don't focus on job titles or even a single career field or path, as it is outdated and limits our potential. At last, I would like to conclude by saying that the new age career plan requires us to learn best to our potential that prepare us not only for a multiple career working files, but for the job titles we have not heard yet. Thank you everyone for your time and for listening me. Thank you so much. Kapan Kha.
Okay, Akanksha, what is your statement?
My statement is, I want to conclude by saying that a new age career plan requires us to learn the best to our potential that prepare us not only for a multiple career working file, but for the job titles we have never heard of. And we should not stop learning at any age. We should not stop learning.
Okay. Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
so much. Thank you so much, Sanjit.
Okay, so we have some friends here. So Vanita ji, can you say hello, please? Vanita ji, Vanita Parvani ji. Vanita ji, can you say hello or not available? Okay, thank you. शुक्ला जी आप भी इस तरह हेलो बोलिए थोड़ा सा हेलो
हेलो हेलो हेलो संजय भाई
हाँ जी
आवाज आ रहा है मेरा
आ रही है
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक संजय एंड Rangsit University, Gandhi Institute or Rangsit University, and I would like to say Dr. Mano that belated happy birthday to him on this forum. And one more thing, that my friend O.P. Yadav from India is here. Hello, Mr. O.P. Yadav.
हाँ ठीक है बोलिए आपकी बात में he is listening.
यादव जी सुन रहे हैं मेरे को?
सुन रहे हैं
अच्छा.
I am listening you, sir. Listening you.
You remember me?
Yes, sir. I remember. Namaskar.
So this initiative is a very good. Sanjay is doing very good job, and this is I can say that new platform for youth in Thailand, and not even in Thailand, even from whole world who want to join this forum, because here in this forum, present days youngsters will learn a lot that how to proceed our life in further, because the main thing is that in corona era there's a lot of problem. People are losing job and other things also. So how to cope up with all this problem? So this online things will help a lot, because nowadays people are working from home. Only online is helping. If there's no internet, no online, no working from home. So this online is a very good role, very big role now also, and in future it would be a very, very big role. So I say once again that very, very good thing, very, very good. Like thank you for all participants in the forum, and especially to youth, that everybody is saying that we should not leave our learning. We should learn regularly. We should add on regularly that new technology, new ideas, and new. So it will only come from our learning. If we learn new things every day, every week, every month, then we can keep ourselves like complete. So thank you once again.
Thank you, Shukla ji. So nice of you. Basan ji, just say hello only. Hello, just nothing much. Just say hello, please, Vasan ji. Unmute kar lijiye.
Okay. Welcome to Sanjay ji for the program for Gandhi Institute, Rangsit University, and Dr. Manu. My best regards. A few of the speakers were very, very well speaking. New ideas coming on. Somebody from NUS, somebody from London School of Economics are really highly useful for our future plannings. I must think that Sanjay is doing excellent work and God may bless him. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving next now, I would like to invite the two daughters, Isabel and Atia Khan. Both are Thai citizens, and I met them few years back. And what inspired me to bring them as a speaker, they both went to Bangalore to study. And now they are, both of them are completed study in India and come back here. One of them is working and other is still studying master's degree. So I would like to invite first Isabel Dakane, a graduating interior design student, and she loves Asian food and Thai as well as Filipino. She like food basically, and she's still student. So let's hear from her views what she think about the new trends in education and how she's planning her career. So please welcome Isabel Dakane.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, could you see me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Isabel. I'm a graduating student. Yeah, obviously I like food. And now I'm studying in interior design course in Assumption University. I would like to talk about my experience when I was in India. At first, when I went there, I didn't know how to speak proper English at all. And I was actually lost. I don't know what is increasing, decreasing, or even physics or anything right there. So I would say people around me were really nice, and then they helped me a lot in my studies, and especially the teachers right there. And I think teachers take a really important role in education. Yeah, it took a lot of effort for me to build up my skills. I know I still have to learn more than this, and now I'm really nervous. So it's my first time on speech in front of everyone. So okay, I'm really sorry for that. And now it really gave me a lot of knowledge and experience in my career planning as well. It changed my path and ways to live and to choose my job as well. At first, I took science, and it was really hard for me to cope up with other people. And I think Indian students are really competitive and really smart. I was at the bottom of the class actually when I was in grade 9. And when it came to at one point, I started to think yeah, you should try more. You should at least you shouldn't be that to be at the top, at the bottom of the class. So my friends and all the teachers helped me a lot, and they did not push me away or made any gave me bad experience in that. So I'm really thankful for that. And now since I have studied there for 4 years, I don't know what changed my mind from science. I kind of hate chemistry actually when I studied there. So I changed to designing, and my mom gave me a lot of advice on that. So now studying in ABAC, basically, the total environment changed, and it was hard for me to adjust as well. But as you know, as an interior design courses, you have loads of work, you have limited times on doing projects. Yeah, and it built up health issues for me as well, because sleepless days, sleepless hours, and a lot of tension. But it was fun, and it is more of an interaction between people and communication between friends and your teacher, your clients as well. So that is a good experience. And it is more practical when you're at the university. And now it comes boom, the pandemic, the COVID-19, and that changed a lot. So I would say when it changed to be online classes, at first it was really hard for me to adjust myself, and then set a mindset that, oh well, you have to study, you have to be focused on the on what you're studying in front of you, because at home the environment and then the environment around you is just so relaxed. So I would say I slept off sometimes while studying. So that is really it's such a bad influence around you. I wouldn't say bad, but like that influence that make you feel lazy, and then you're not motivated to do something. So for that, I would like to point out some points that actually make me at least focus on what I'm doing right now, and then to be more motivated. So first, I would say set your goals and change your mindset, and be prepared for every classes or every activities before you do. You need the important thing is that you need passion on what you do, because if you just keep on just like going on classes like what you do regularly in the university, then I don't think that's gonna work. You have to try harder. You need goals and then target in each day. And yeah, I think that is all. And now I'm doing an internship at home, which is really weird for us to do the internship at home, because it's like it's just not, there's no difference in studying in the online classes as well. So it's totally the same. It's like they'll give you a task or a job, and then you start doing the same thing, repetition, and that gets boring. So I think yeah, that is the challenge that you have to do, that you have to face during this time. So I think everybody can you need more passion basically when you do something, and set your goals properly. And that's all about my speech. Thank you.
So nice of you, Isabel. Very lively speech. So we are very happy to hear from you, a real life practical experience. Let me invite your sister Ratyakon together so that we can connect both of you together. So Ratyakon, welcome please. Ratyakon, she is recently graduated from Bangalore and now working as a researcher in international media licensing company in Bangkok. So
Yes,
Ratyakon,
hello.
welcome. Hi.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you, Sanjay sir, for making me a part of this international youth conference. It's my first time ever being a part of something like this. So the first point I'd like to make is about conventional education, that how we're forced to select a major and to study only about that thing. I myself I'm a finance graduate, and I was in India for about 7 years, and in high school I also did commerce. So everything I did, it's always been about commerce. It's always been about business and finance. I never had any exposure about other stuff. And when I joined college, the teachers actually try to have us do different group activities to try and make it as much as practical as they want it to be. But as a first jobber, I realized whatever I studied in school, it just wasn't enough. Because conventional schooling, they don't teach you about team working. They don't teach you about stress management. Especially in this COVID-19 time, there was this time where I had to quarantine. I work from home for like 14 days. And it's not an easy thing to just sit at home and stare at your computer for the whole day. So it's completely new. Nobody actually comes and tell you, this is how you're supposed to deal with sitting in front of computer. This is what you're supposed to be doing when you feel stressed, just sitting at home, not meeting anybody. And I guess that is something that's worth talking about at work or even at school. Because schooling is not just about education. It's all about meeting friends. You also have those experiences when, you know, meeting friends, how to talk to people, how to socialize. When schooling is just in front of the screen, it's you take away the whole concept of schooling together. It's just reading from books, right? So I guess you know, COVID-19 had completely changed this concept of schools and education. They took away the experiences every kid should be having, how to meet new people, how to talk to teachers, how to make speeches in front in public. You don't do that at home. Yes. So the next one I'd like to make is the the technological part. So in college, we're taught normal basic softwares like Microsoft and all of that, at least in BBA. But since I shifted from working like from a conventional job, I thought of doing something a bit more creative. I went into media licensing. I'm a researcher over there, and it's a completely new concept because there are these new apps and websites like and also social media like Facebook, Twitter, and obviously TikTok. And those things, it's never taught in college. College don't teach you how the TikTok algorithm works. They don't teach how to shoot ads and videos. They don't teach how to put up ads on Facebook. It's so yeah, I feel like it's going fast, this technological thing. And you have to be adaptable to actually, you know, be able to be employable outside and in the job market. Yeah. So I like to, so the only advice I'd like to give to the younger people is to always be adaptable and open-minded to learning new things. Yeah.
Thank you, Ratyagun. I think I'm not making a comments on every person, but one thing that you have said is adaptability. The more we adapt, the more we can find solutions to the challenges that we might facing today and future as well. So I think adaptability is the key factor here, that we should adapt with the new environment, new situation, new circumstances.
Yes, absolutely.
Not only in career, in every part of the life, you know. So thank you so much. Both the sisters have wonderful, and we wish you all the best for your career as well. And we are here to support you all the time, and we'll keep in touch. Isabel, so nice of you. You spoke very well. Ratyagun also spoke well.
Thank you.
Now, thank you very much. Please stay here. We have other speakers also. You can learn from them. And okay, Vanita ji, namaste. हाँ, बोलिए आप अनम्यूट करके थोड़ा बोलिए, हेलो बोलिए आप.
Hello everybody, nice for listening.
कैसे आप?
All this the young youth.
Thank you.
बहुत अच्छा लगा सबको सुन के. Thank you very much for.
Thank you, Vanita ji. Okay, now we have a wedding planner with us. I don't know, there's no weddings and wedding with the limited people. We would like to welcome Sonam Singhal ji. Please come and enlighten us. Tell us about your experience in India, being a youth, what you are planning and how you can advise other youth in this kind of circumstances of COVID-19 and new learning environment and the future of education as a whole. Sonam ji.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay, and thank you, Rangsit University, for getting me on board. So I would start by saying that change is the only constant in life, and it is actually true at every step. The simplest example I could take would be in terms of communication. Say we started from the Morse code, then there were telegrams, then came the letters, and now we have emails. I mean, transformation has been happening at a lightning speed, and I think education has caught this train as well. While we were in school, probably all that we had was to listen from our teachers, the peers,
We would go back home and learn from our parents, and it was all traditional book knowledge that we got. The good thing about technology today is that it's going digital. People can actually attend short courses. They can attend seminars. There are volunteer works that are happening. There are trial classes. You can read about so many things online. There are a lot of consultations that can happen. And people can actually choose from these variety of opportunities that are available, which probably were not available to us at that point in time. Education has upskilled. There are soft skill trainings that are happening because of all this COVID that's happening right now. Traditional book knowledge has been replaced, and a lot of detailing has come. So say artificial intelligence, if you go to Japan, a lot of these car making industries will have robots working at the detailing stage. And after that is where the manpower comes into vision. There are also competency-based programs that are happening. So technology is actually helping a lot to catch up with the fast-paced changing environment. We need to adapt continuously to newer strategies. Innovation in methodologies is definitely required. Also, I've seen a lot of people at the age of 30, 40 who have been having a change at heart at their careers. I've had a friend who's finished a medical degree and has worked in a hospital for a year and then decided, oh, that's not her calling, and she ran into business. So I would say at any point in time, you can adapt to different things, and it's never a waste of time. You are learning every day, and this learning gets the growth in us. The other thing, my main point here would be that no matter what you do, practical knowledge is really important. So say, for example, me, I've done my bachelor's in computer science and I've done my master's in international business, but I'm a wedding planner for about 10 to 12 years now. And all this has happened only because I tried reading and working on it. Just by sitting at home, reading the traditional books that we were given, I don't think I would have gained anything. It was only when I went into the field and I worked on it real time, I knew how to sort my solutions. So also I would say that 2021 has revolutionized approach to education and work skills. It's only going to get better, bigger. Everything probably will be tech-based. It will be quicker. It'll be promising, advancing, and engaging. I would conclude all of this by saying that create opportunities for yourself. Opportunities are never going to knock at your doorstep. There are a lot of people who are there who will give you advice. You can take anybody's help. You have so much resources to look out to, and then make up your mind what you really want to do. And I would say that no matter what the trends are, get there, do what you like to do, and just don't be scared to try anything. I'm sure everybody will find a way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonamji.
Thank
you.
You
summarized everything very briefly, and it shows your experience actually. So you are in the middle of the career, so very nice. So we wish you all the best for your
Thank you so much.
In future, and when you come to Bangkok, we'll meet you again. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, thanks a lot. So now let's move to the next speaker, Ishita Shah. Please come. Ishita.
Hi.
Okay. Ishita, how old are you?
I'm 19.
19. Okay. This is a second youngest speaker, less than below 20. So we are so fortunate to have you our speaker today. So friends, Ishita, she is a second year student, major in business economics and minor in psychology at Mahidol University. One thing I would like to share, the achievement that she has done. She has recently become the digital brand manager of MUIC Club, Case Club, where her role is to design and develop social media content, such as posters, videos for Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, etc. So at very young age, she has got some responsibility to perform, to learn something new. So we'd like to hear as a youth, what are your, what do you think about the change in the education system and how you can plan your future and how you can inspire others as well?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sanjay ji, for inviting me to this conference and also to Gandhi Institute. So today, being here, as we see, the topic is about education and career planning. I would like to say, like, being a university student, I've learned something that even though I'm pursuing a university degree, in today's world, you do not really need a degree anymore to be successful. Like, you can monetize almost anything as long as you're smart and you have your knowledge about it. As we see, especially online, e-commerce is growing and there are people coming up with small businesses everywhere, such as there's clothing, cosmetics, baked goods, and so much more. And even when I was trying to find work online, I found work for writing articles for a magazine. So all we need to do is either create our opportunities or find some opportunities. As talking about education and studying online mainly, we get it through internet and educational resources like schools. But I think the most important education right now, it includes social skills and communicating with people, which truly comes from your peers and groups. The more you work in a group of people and doing teamwork, the more you understand how different people are and how to communicate effectively. And being a business student here, I've always been interested in marketing and design, as well as psychology. Previously, I'd done an internship with DevCreate, where I was a marketing intern. And currently, also being the digital brand manager, I learned a lot about social media marketing that I had only read about in my classes or maybe done a small project about. And I really learned that in marketing especially, I really like to design and try to look at social media trends, what can be helpful to promote our content and to gain more followers. And this helped me gain practical experience. And my interest in psychology has also increased a lot, especially during the pandemic and its effect on everyone, how important it is to be in person, because having online events is definitely a great thing. We have adapted so quickly to the new normal and it is never going to go. But we have also realized that there is that special quality in meeting in person, which is also never going to go. And working online, it is really important to have a good work life balance. As for the education system, it is mainly online now, and it still looks to be online for quite a few years, depending on vaccines and how the pandemic goes. And there's a lot of information available online, as mentioned by many others here. There's so many courses to do, but I believe it's very important to narrow it down, as you should know what you're looking for so that it is better to it is better to specialize in something rather to be a jack in all trades, I believe. That's why I'm in my second year right now, and I've done almost one full year of studying online. And this has taught me that there's so many benefits from online, because I can attend so many more conferences or lectures, and I can do so much more while being at home and being by my family. But personally, I also believe that the biggest downfall to this is the lack of socializing that does not come, because we cannot attend class in person or meet new people. Definitely, in the new normal, online learning and events are not going to go away because of their availability and the ability to meet so many more people globally. But I think it's important that we can substitute some physical events for online. Like, I've heard about companies hosting work dinners together online or having a game night online. I think that's really good to boost morale, and that's what sometimes we do in clubs as well. So, youth or not, in today's generation, we need to upgrade our skills. And with the environment today, if we do not upgrade, then we're quickly left behind. This is seen with like multiple jobs becoming obsolete and multiple professions dying. That's why I believe the strongest asset our youth has today is how we are able to adapt so quickly, which is seen after the pandemic. We all adapted really quickly online. So I would say the most important thing is to always be flexible, as you never know what change may come tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, very nice. Actually, that's so nice of you. You look very mature, actually. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, moving next now. Bhanu Priya Parasar. भानु जी आइए. Okay.
Namaste. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity to talk on this forum with other youth leaders. Thank you, Gandhi Institute. Thank you, Sanjay sir. And after hearing everyone talking, there's so much of the topics already covered. I don't want to repeat on anything. And oh, before I forget, Sanjay sir has an intro to give.
Okay. Bhanu is a 29-year-old living in Bangkok with Indian roots. She's from Rajasthan and family also Rajasthani family. Very much open-minded, and beside of this, this is all like paper introduction, but I know Bhanu very well. So she was the in our theater play. She was the Sutradhar of the Gandhi play. So we have seen her performance, her enthusiasm, her the way she expressed herself, understand the situation, and she's trying to become more entrepreneur rather than going in a traditional direction. And but she loved to do a lot of things about during the COVID-19. She tried to keep herself engaged in online activities, video editing, and also currently she's pursuing the from the Bangkok University. She already graduated from the Bangkok University in communications, and now still doing MBA from the Stanford University in Bangkok. And she has some corporate experience in Birla Group, and she keep herself quite very busy. So Bhanuji, very briefly, just explain what do you think what changes you are facing in the current situation.
Thank you. One really big change that I've noticed during the years is finding a job here. It has not been so easy if you have a language barrier and you haven't been able to overcome it, like being able to speak and read Thai and doing it on a level that is more than amateur. And so the opportunities reduce from there, and there are certain things about getting a job in Bangkok, especially where or corporations have a certain percentage of foreigners that they can hire depending on a employment ratio. And so you are essentially competing with someone who has either better credentials, has more experience in certain areas, and you might fall short. And this can be discouraging, but that's what I have been learning, especially in this COVID time. When you're feeling discouraged about this, don't stick to continuously looking for a job. You're, as many people have talked during this forum, this chat, is you can create your own opportunity. And that is what I did. When we were stuck at home, I noticed I have marketing skills that I'm not able to use, and everything theories, all the theories I learned during my MBA, I have not had a job where I can apply it. So the application in that is feeling useless now. Like, I have the skill, how do I make it happen? So the solution was to start an online business, and it didn't have to be a legitimate registered one, because I've noticed that a lot of people would just sell something they're able to create. It could be crafts, food, especially food related things, mugs, t-shirts, anything merchandise wise. Or you could be reselling stock of a different business. That's also something very popular right now. And that's why I found my mother as a great inspiration. She has skills in cooking, in being a very social person, someone who knows the trends and what customers want, especially in the food area. She talks to people and she's been developing this for years and years. She knows where to go and get whatever packaging we needed for the goods, what way to present the products. And I found that this is something I did not gain from my MBA class, because I wasn't specifically researching in those areas. I was more corporate level businesses, and this is a small business. And so I was learning from her an informal kind of education, and we applied it while we were going. So we started with online tutorials. So I would make the video and upload it online, and that's how we started Mate Ki Rasoi Ghar. So she would teach me how to make the food while I was recording it, and then I would edit it and market it to people that we knew. I would market it using digital marketing suggestions from Instagram, Facebook, and online, and looking at trends of how other people do it. And gradually that moved towards more things like making products and selling it. And when COVID went down, numbers of infections went down for a while. We were able to represent Mate Ki Rasoi Ghar at stalls and sell it there. And this whole physical application of all the theories I learned and putting it in this way was very educational. There's so many families where you have a member who has already been working on their career for their lifetime. Then you have someone who didn't have a career. They had education to a level, but then they became mothers or they became primary caregiver, and that is where they were. But while while they were caregivers, they themselves have been developing talents over time, and that talent became so useful now. And I realized that when I started working with my mother, and her directions and her instincts were something that you can't get from a formal education in an institution. And that's why I found during the COVID time, if you don't have opportunity of working somewhere and you're waiting, while you wait, you should apply it physically, the applications of all the theories you learned. And that's why I would encourage someone who's at home and feeling rather down about their situation, that this is a good risk-free way of learning, implementing, and growing. And at the same time, you are getting informal education and getting education from tutorials that you find online. So yes, that is what I wanted to convey.
Thank you so much, Bhanuji. Very nice. Definitely, you have tried to become an entrepreneur during the COVID-19, and we wish you all the best for your future. And we are here in Bangkok. We will continue to support our youth, getting your guidance, your ideas as well. So we'll continue working on that same direction as was mentioned now. Okay, let's move on to the next dynamic youth, प्रज्वल दौलत भोसले. प्रज्वल जी आइए.
जी संजय जी.
Okay, very briefly, very short introduction. She was born in Maharashtra, raised in Thailand, born and brought up in Thailand, born in Maharashtra. Currently, she is doing a Bachelor of Business Administration at Mahidol University, and she loves dancing, singing, acting. She also practiced Raj Yoga, and she want to become an industrialist. At a very young age, you know what you want to become. when I was like you, I don't know who I am myself, so at least you know what you want to become in your life. But in addition to that, I know Prajwal and Prajwal family very well, very closely. So whatever sanskar she has got in her life that come from the parents, her mother, her father, and she has a little sister also, and very cultured family she belongs to. And she was also the recipient of the the Gandhi Institute conducted a essay writing competition last year, COVID-19 and all that. And then she was the second prize or third prize.
The third prize.
Third prize. So she got third prize. And we have been thinking to do the essay competition part 2 again this year also. So let you know on that. But welcome, and would like to hear your dynamic views. You could be an inspiration for our youth in future as well. I can see that you have that energy, that enthusiasm, that experience that required as a youth.
Oh, thank you so much, Sanjay ji, for that very kind introduction. And also to Gandhi Institute for this wonderful opportunity today. So talking about education, I think there used to be a time where degrees used to be very important. But I feel in today's times, knowledge, skills, and applications are the real big deal, because the knowledge that we are learning in textbooks today is getting outdated. So I can see most of my friends who are recently graduated, they don't have a place to apply the knowledge that they've actually learned because there's a lack of jobs out there. And as it was mentioned earlier, reskilling is going to take place on a continuous basis. And as Vedji had said earlier, we are living in busy times. So these days, especially students, they do not spend time with themselves in introversion as much as they spend in other things such as social media, which is okay till the point it is disciplined. But what I feel is the lack of introversion and spending time with the self, because sometimes we make decisions based on what the majority is doing. But I think it's important to understand what do I really like, enjoy, and can bring my authentic self out in which field. Maybe there may be students who feel that, oh, I'm not interested in any of the subjects that I do, or I may like everything. So what is my approach? Personally, when I was in high school, I tried to balance my interest and grade. They say both go hand in hand, but that's not always true, because in that period in a student's life, high school is a period when we are studying 7 to 8 different subjects together. And one student might have talent in music, but not be great at math. So it's okay if you haven't still found out what you like, because it means you can explore further, right? For example, I had chosen science up till my IB diploma program. But when I decided to pursue things like a course in uni, I decided to pursue a business major. And I talked to my dad about this, and he said, oh yeah, it does link to what our family business is. So sure, why not do it? Well, then I also kept in mind to study, on the things that I liked in science. So I also pursued my research in agriculture and did acting auditions. So what I'm trying to say here is that as we grow up, we get limited to think that, oh, I've taken a commerce side or a science side. And so we kind of limit ourselves to what we can focus on, or say, I can only do this. But the truth is that we're moving towards a very integrated future where careers are going to greatly overlap. So having an open mind and experiencing everything that is out there is an opportunity, to be honest. And it's all going to be good, because when you constantly adapt, as Sanjay ji was saying earlier, you can identify the new trends in the market. Another thing, to keep it very short, is that it's very important to learn about personal finance, especially at a very young age, because it's a valuable skill once you move from the education to earning a living stage. So personal finance is a big, big yes to focus on. And my advice to my last minute advice for everyone would be that in order to create or build ourselves that communicative, critical, and creative thought process, I think these days YouTube has an abundance of resources to help out And it's very important to select just the right ones, because there's too much information is also not good. So some of my favorite channels are Vivek Bindra, Bia Biceps, and Edureka, but you guys can check that out. I'll link it in the chat box. And you can look at Instagram and other social media platforms to do side hustles like content marketing and etc. There's a lot of potential on that frontier as well. And most importantly, reach out to your professors, parents, especially parents and business people in your contacts, because I feel they're the ones that can tell you what is required in the market. And you may never know, you might actually find a winning business idea, like Bhanupriya, earlier speaker, did. So that's also another thing. And I think in this field, in this time where there's a lot of chaos around us, to be really honest, meditation and a practice of introversion on a daily basis, this is the main thing to maintain a peace of mind and an active mental state. So I practice meditation myself, and I would recommend everybody to try it on a daily basis. And my best wishes for all of you. And I wish everybody a very good future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prajwal. Very nice. Okay, now Neha Tulsian Agrawal. Neha ji, I'm sorry to speakers who have been waiting for last almost 3 hours. I'm sorry for that. It's like a random selection of the speakers who will speak what. I did not want to create a queue because it will affect our performance here. But I would like to apologize for the speaker who are speaking in the last part of this conference. But I trust me, I will hear you this with the same enthusiasm that I hear the first person. You know. So don't worry about that. But we have to perform our duty as in the conference, as a speaker or organizer or moderator, whatever we are. So I welcome Nehaji. She is a chartered accountant by profession, and she was in lockdown in India and then come back. And yeah, so I think she's a housewife, staying in Bangkok, very active youth, learning new things all the time. She was also our Sutradhar in the play, Gandhi, the stick play 1. So we have seen her capabilities, her strength as a youth. So we would like to welcome Nehaji. She is not only a charismatic artist, but as well as all-round performers, and by profession, she's also very strong in accounts. So as a CA, we would like to understand from your side how education trends are changing from your perspective, and is there anything, something that we can learn from that?
Thank you, Sanjay Bhaiya, and thank you, Dr. Mano and the Gandhi University for having us here. Thank you for your warm welcome. First of all, I will start my points with as all the speakers said, that obviously never stop learning. Learning is the only key for our growth, and accept the changes as per your phase of life and as per the place of your life. And the third most important, hunger for your targets, for your achievements, and be self-independent. As Sanjay ji said, that I'm chartered accountant by profession. I have also done another finance course, short-term courses, and I was working in India for more than 5 years. I shifted here. I worked here as well, but unfortunately, I have to move back India for 5 to 6 months. So, but in this span of period of time and this COVID period, it gave me the opportunity to learn more and more, and to explore more and more. So I can share my experience for the education system, like I have been at so many places in my life. Like I born in Bihar in India. I moved to Gujarat in India. I moved to Delhi for studies. I moved to MP for another reasons. So due to different places and due to different cultures and the education system, I have been learned so much things. Like I was, frankly speaking, I was a Hindi medium student. That is, my language was Hindi in my whole throughout the schooling period. But for my career and for to move Delhi, I have to accept the language change. I have to learn the grammar, and I have to be, competent with the situation. So that was a change, and that was the new learning. So it's like the education system is like, it might be traditional, it might be changing as per the requirements and the circumstances, but we have to accept the changes, and we have to keep going and keep learning. We have to keep learning. Like I have been as Sanjay ji said, I was very much creative, and my mind is kind of a, left side of person that which is creative. But when I completed my schooling, so there was no such kind of, certified course or degree course to be something like a professional artist and such kind of person. But now the current education system has changed. Whatever you want to be in your life, there is a certified course. There are so many opportunities, whatever you want to be. And the most important, most important is that we are very confident, and we know that we want to be financially independent. We want to do something in our life, not financially even. We just, rather than financially, we want satisfaction, and we want a happiness in our working. So this is basically the change as per our education system. And when I moved to Bangkok, it was like that at that time I was not working because I just married and I shifted. So in that 3 months of period, I have explored so many places. I started learning Thai language. I started learning from the people here. I gave so many interviews because when I was working in India, I was in a practicing firm. It was my practicing firm with my partner. So I never went for any kind of that kind of experience. So totally I have changed I have changed my what we can say that my profile I have changed here to shift in Bangkok to learn here. So education system is cannot be, you cannot say that it's a tradition system or it has changed, or due to COVID we are learning in online system. The obviously our teachers are the main key to give the knowledge, their experience, but we have to be that kind of person that we want this in life. We want to do this profession, and we want to be growth in our life. So accordingly, we will learn that, we will accept the changes, and we will move again and again ahead. So this is all about, I want to say that this is like, I want to say that earning is not only the thing in our life. Along with the earning, we have to learn, we have to have our happiness, we have to have satisfaction, and we have to do more and more things are in our life. Thank you.
Thank you, Neha. So nice of you. So we wish you all the best for all your ventures. Moving next, first of all, I have promised you 7 p.m., but we have 3-4 speakers left. And I would like to take permission from this forum that we are extending another, we want to finish all the speakers. So please bear with us. It won't take much time, maybe another 50 minutes, we wrap up everything here. So next is Shivam Vachravuthikon. He's a Thai national, 20-year-old boy. He did BTech in automation engineering from King Mongkut University of Technology, Thonburi in Bangkok, and currently pursuing his MBA from Assumption University, which is called ABAC. So welcome, Shivamji. And after Shivam, Anmolji will be get ready, please.
Hello, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So my name is Shivam. So just to inform, I graduated from King Mongkut University in the Bachelor's of Engineering and from Master's degree in MBA. Currently, I'm working as an IT project manager as a digital transformation side in the insurance side. I have experience of around 7 years. So let's jump into the main topic of the career and education side. So education is just the base or the basic steps that we take right now at the moment. And it is something which is not that much prioritized as like before. Now it is more depending on the skill sets that you have or how much you are driven to the new trends or the technologies likewise, you know. And for me, in terms of IT side or the software development side, is we used to do something which was called sort of a manual system wise in previous times, like around 4 to 5 years ago. Now we are more transforming in the way of like agility, you know, agile, something in the agile and a scrum side, which try to minimize the process into pieces, you know, and let the development cycle basically moves on in step by step, where there is a frequent releases as per in the previous side. It was basic releases in a month wise. So now is like the technology and the development is moving quite fast according to the trend. And in terms of the career side, I think one of the major important thing is you have to keep on moving, keep on educating yourself every day. You know, you have to basically enjoy the experiences from the work that you have, and you try to adapt according to it and move accordingly, because the major factor that we face during the COVID time is basically the job losses, because you don't have the relevant skill sets. And nowadays everything is online, and I think most of the what do you say, vacancies or basically job sets, you know, the skill sets are basically disrupted because everything is taken by robotics, AI, machine learning. Everything is moving on fast. So I think you have to be mentally fit, you have to be physically strong, and you have to keep on educating yourself every day so that you can meet everything at the latest, and then you can strongly stand on what you are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shivam. It was very quick, and you came to the point on the conclusion. Very nice. So we wish you all the best for your busy life in education as well as job, both together. So thank you so much for joining us. Now let's ask Anmolji, please come. Anmol Tak.
Hello.
Hello, Anmolji, hi. Sorry, I know you have been waiting from the last 3 hours. I would like to apologize for our speakers that, see, this is the first time we have 26 speakers.
Yeah.
You know how much effort we need to include everybody. And normally the conference, we have a few like 4 or 5 speakers, but I'm talking about 26 speakers today. And I'm very excited actually to listen everybody. Yeah.
It's a good thing, and I pointed some had some points down, and I heard everyone, and it was good. It was like I wasn't just waiting here sitting nothing. It was good time.
So, Anmol Tak, a very dynamic youth like others, and she is entrepreneur by heart and mind both, running a very sustainable event planning company. She's graduating from business from Australia. So I was thinking to include in the Australia or Thailand or India. I don't know what it is, but anyway, we are fortunate to have you as a speaker here today. And let's hear your views about new trends in education and how we can plan our future.
Okay, thank you so much. A big hello to everyone. I see some familiar faces. Thank you for having me today. Without having to waste any time, I want to get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is how relevant today's topic of discussion is, not just from a general perspective, but also relating to me personally. I think it's perfect. It got me to research, which I love. As the world kind of turns into a global village from the result of our new technological developments, we've had to deal with a global pandemic, which has resulted in unpredictable economic disruption and unemployment worldwide. So as human beings, we do what we do best, and we adapt as quickly and as smartly as possible. And one of the trends that a lot of people have already talked about in this conference, virtual reality, virtual careers, project-based learning, these are all new education trends that we are currently dealing with. Project-based learning is kind of what we're doing right now. So all that we already know, right? But even though we have all these changes, the bigger question is how we perceive education in today's world. If you compare to the 19th century, the trends have completely flipped out. We are now encouraged to understand more than memorize. We're encouraged to discover. We're encouraged to question anything and anyone we come across. And that's amazing to see. The immense diversification in the education that we also have an opportunity to perceive shows how the education has evolved over time. So due to these changes, it has come to light that a lot of the education you receive depends on your surroundings, where you live, what professional experience you get, regardless of if you have a degree or not, the exposure you get and the type of people that surround you. A lot of that kind of influences the education you get. So I think it's part of the new education trend. And as per our old education system, we were told to get a job right after graduating or to straight away get into a business field and do that for the rest of your life. However, the surety of leaving university with a job has been blurred severely. Since the pandemic, not only recent graduates are unemployed, but people who had also so-called permanent jobs have been redundant. This called for many people to change their careers and rethink their plans. And one of the biggest industries that got hit was the hospitality and the event industry. And earlier, when I said I personally relate to this, is because all my life, all my adult life, I've put all my energy and time into working for the event industry. And ultimately, I wanted to have my own company, which I do currently, but it's not the smartest idea right now, considering the pandemic and the third wave in Bangkok, which calls for a new career plan, which I'm actually currently doing. So I think this was the perfect topic for me. Now, when you start a new career plan, it can't just be frustrating, but it can the lack of momentum in your professional life can be severely can bring several psychological consequences, like anxiety, depression, anger, and confusion. Psychologists have shown that threatening situations, such as the pandemic, prompt us to behave conservatively. And that is the exact opposite what is required when we're considering a career change. So here we are going to balance the pressing need to ensure basic survival with what may well be a growing urge to do something new after the crisis has subsided. According to the Harvard Business Review, there are a few simple principles that can help those living through hard times continue to focus on reinventing their careers. First, develop many possible selves. People have already mentioned this, so I don't want to repeat much of it, but possible selves are the ideas that we have about who we might be or who we want to become. Some are concrete and well-informed by experience, and others are vague and funny, nascent and untested. Some are realistic and some are purely just fantasy. And naturally, some appeal more to us than others, but you have to embrace that process and explore as many of them as you can. The second one would be embrace the liminal period. The liminality period can be very unpleasant state to inhibit emotionally. This fraught stage is a necessary part of the journey because it allows you to process a lot of complex emotions and conflicting desires, and ultimately prevents you from shutting down prematurely and missing better options that are still ahead of you. Third one, get going on projects. This is what people were talking about, doing side hustles, cultivate knowledge skills, build strong new relationships with the new legs that you walk on, exploring on a new career, work on weekends, take part-time courses, do pro bono, advisory work, develop startup ideas. Everything has been mentioned at the conference, which is amazing. And the fourth one, which I highly recommend that I'm also trying to implement, even though it's difficult, is to talk it out. Talk it out with anyone who you think will respond, listen, sympathize, and question. Because self-respecting is a practice that allows your thoughts to come to light and reduces all the cluster in your brain. To conclude, it's not about your destination, it's about the journey you hold. And that's something my father has always told me. So I hope I've covered all the points of the new education trends and planning your career after the pandemic. These are some studies and articles that I read. So I thought I could share them. Thank you for having me.
We are so fortunate to have a young, dynamic, super fast.
I know I talk really fast. I'm so sorry.
But we understand. No, that's okay.
Okay.
So she was in Australia during the pandemic, and it's hard for her to reach to Bangkok. There are some immigration issues. The people who are above 20, difficult to get visas to come to Thailand. Even the family staying in Thailand. So those things are challenging, but you finally managed it very well. No. So nice of you. No, so let's move back to the venue. Kumar Ranga. He is from Asian Institute of Technology. In fact, he was the president of AIT Indian Association. So please welcome Venu Kumar Rangaji. And then after that, we have two more speakers. I would like to have your patience for another 10 minutes for that. So Venuji, please come.
Good evening, everyone. I really feel privileged to share my view on trends of this education system. So what all I have seen over my education experience, like what all was going on in India over the decades. I mean, I didn't mean to criticize, but I'm just another individual who followed the path blindly. Let me tell you a story of a middle-class boy who wasn't focused enough during his bachelor's and turned out to find a way to shape up his career right now. So what all are his chosen ways? Like, as I said, in India, like 60% of the students, at least who pursued their engineering or doctors or who are lawyers, they wasted around, I feel like they wasted around at least 16 years of education. Like if somebody wants to be a doctor, I really felt like 2 years of preschool, 5 years of primary school, and 5 years of secondary school with a matriculation, and then following the society stigma, like could be a doctor or an engineer, lawyer, a government job, what all. But I have seen many people without holding a degree created wonders. There is this Chinese guy who created many robots without even having a degree. So it's all about the knowledge that we gain through the digital. It's just like we have everything now, like through the internet, we can really find many things and you can learn as well. During the pandemic, we just have a very low phase where we really cannot give any idea about the present career path or something like that. As of now, I live in Thailand. I really find it difficult to find a job because of the visa and all, especially because of the COVID. So now I'm really trying to find a solution for it and ended up finding these stocks, data mining, real estate, digital marketing, cryptocurrency, and remote consultancies, and also selling on the websites like Shopee or Lazada, and also trading. And these all are the platforms where you can really make some money, not just running behind a job or something like that. But again, there's a stigma, and my parents almost all the time, they just asked me to go and search for a job because of the stigma of the society. I really didn't understand much in their view, but honestly, we need to be our own boss. And if you really want to travel around the world without having any, without having to worry about your fortune, so some of these could be the stocks or data mining, anything. But if you really didn't have any idea about all these, go for a hackathon. Other day, we just followed a hackathon and got up with a debris idea, and we stood third in the university. I didn't know that it would really work. It was just a hackathon which helped us to go for it. So always follow the passion and don't follow the trend. just choose your career wisely just by getting to know more about the people. See, if you interact with many people, you'll just get some idea. So try to go out and explore the world and explore the people. So the concluding statement was simple: don't follow the stigma in the society and go out to explore and enjoy the adventure. Thank you.
Thank you, Venu. So nice of you. Okay, thus he's studying the Venu is studying the masters in engineering and remote sensing at GIS at AIT, and he's also working developing a indoor robot which can tell the location inside a building. Wow, so very technical guy. So thank you, Venu, for sharing your wonderful experience with us. And now I invite another AIT, former AIT guy, Manish Kumar Singh. Manish ji, namaskar. आइए.
Yeah, namaste, sir.
Okay, Manish ji, he spent many years in youth activities as a volunteer in Thailand. We have been known, I think, almost like 5-7 years already. And any activity that we need volunteers, Manish is always there. And very friendly person, and he has shown leadership capabilities as well many times, and always very adept to the new environment. He was the president of Indian Association of Indian Association at AIT, and tech savvy. He like computers, digital things, cooking, playing, badminton, reading, analyzing current developments in energy sector, especially he engaged in now. So currently pursuing his as a career as solar consultant, being associated with the Solar Edge Channel partner. So he's energy guy. His current energy, but he's also full of energy as well. So welcome, Manishji. So I'd like to hear from you your views about the current trends in education.
Thank you, Sanjay sir, for the kind words. Thank you, our audience, for still waiting and listen. And like, okay, fine. So without wasting much time, I would just like to convey my sincere thanks to Sanjay sir and the Gandhi Institute, Rangsit University, for giving me this opportunity to present my thoughts. Well, I can't say like I'm the correct person to discuss on this topic, but what I'm going to figure out here is like what I saw, I mean, what I pursued during my education. Well, Sanjay sir, one thing mentioned, like I have like quite huge experience in terms of volunteering and all, but I would like to mention I'm just 25. So don't take his words quite seriously. Like I'm not that much experienced guy in terms of volunteering and all. It's just because of its kind grace, like whenever he has some kind of opportunity, he never forget to share with me, and I just love to be a part under his leadership. So yeah, thank you, Sanjay sir. And just today again, he has just given me this opportunity. So without wasting much time, I would like to bring you, I mean, whosoever the audience is currently available, I can see like around 50 people still here. So I'm quite privileged. So if we talk about like until 2019, what we call the so-called the pre-pandemic times, if you recall, the education and the learning meant in kind of physical environment. We used to go to our classes, sit in a classroom, professors and teachers staring into our eyes. And also like, we also used to nod, like if like sometimes like professors used to say something and we just like kind of, it was a kind of protocol to say like whatever they are sending, we are receiving, and vice versa kind of thing. So with the onset of this deadly virus, this way of education has been disrupted completely, as we all know. So starting with education, which was literally chalk talk model, what I can say, yeah, it was kind of like blackboard teaching and the chalk talk thing. Yeah, right back in India. Maybe in Thailand, it's kind of like blackboard and kind of marker stuffs, but in India, like still it's kind of chalk talk based model. So while for so many generations, books and pens were friends to the learning students, now it has been replaced by the so-called iPads and the Apple Pencil. Students are being exposed to an extent that current education system is by modern and technologically grounded education system. But like, does this change really brought us all of a good things, or there are certain prices that has to be paid? Well, that's an open-ended question, and I should leave in front of the panel and the audience if the time persists to be discussed later. So what we can see currently is like there are plenty of education materials, what other co-speakers also mentioned, that we don't need a formal education right now. The present education system is a kind of enabling the students to explore the concepts on their own, thereby developing the curiosity within them. Just like, okay, if I want to learn something, a new skill, I can just Google. There are plenty of kind of resources available on the websites like Coursera or Udemy, and one I can easily get in a week or so. So for example, like if I revisit my childhood days, my assignment were mostly into pen and the paper-based system. Okay, we need to write maybe like 10 or 15 pages or something. And what we used to do, we just like copy or paste it from the books. But like you'll be quite astonished to know this, like just a week ago, kind of one of my like nice, like she is like 10 years old. And I was quite astonished to see her like discussing with 4 of her another classmates on the Zoom platform. And what the topic was the global warming. And I was like completely amazed to see like how the way they were like, okay, discussing the things, also at the same time distributing the task to be done by each of their member. So what we currently get to know in terms of our profession called kind of teamwork, they are doing at the the tender age of 10 years of being, hardly like they are 10 years old, and they are like getting to know this like quite well. So what I would like to say, like this activity doesn't just make them aware about the topic, but now they are inculcating them with the major building blocks, kind of team planning, taking their own responsibility. So like coming to the career planning, these days youth have, I already mentioned, like numerous options to choose from. Being an engineer, I can say it's not like it is no more an engineer, lawyer, and a doctor golden paths to choose from. It has become much more than that. And as I can say, I can give like my personal examples, even like some of my close friends who did engineering, but later they changed their path and now they are quite successful. And we no need to go like quite far. One of our audience as well as co-speaker, if you just remember Lavisa Kapoor ji, as she mentioned, like she being in completely kind of event management thing, she never like kind of quite enthusiastic about the tech savvy, but she being resilient and taken the challenge and completely transformed her, like, okay, how to take this pandemic, and now she is like quite successful. So what I'd like to say, like, I personally advise the youth of today to enroll themselves in one of kind of digital skill they think they are really passionate about, whether it's kind of building information modeling or kind of augmented reality, which many co-speakers taught, also the virtual reality, the artificial intelligence. I can say these are quite big things, but apart from this kind of like machine learning things or the data analysis, these things, I believe, does not require much technical skills. A person with kind of normal high school degree also, they can understand and they can implement quite well. So yeah, I'd like to keep it short. And yeah, that's all from my part for today.
Thank you so much, Manishi. Okay, so what a wonderful audience you are all. We are moving to the last speaker of this conference, Miss Shobha. Shobha ji, aaiye. Shobha, she's an IT professional, and she worked for the Accelerator company, worked in India before about 4 years, then moved to Bangkok, and she's into a global profile. As part of she traveled all Asian countries, given good experience to her. She understands different cultures, and yeah, she's also facing the issues with the COVID-19 and adapting with the new tradition, working from home, and but being an IT profession, so we'd like to hear from her how she is adapting with the new working environment, as well as what changes she saw in the education sector, how education is changing, and how youth can plan for the future. Shobhaji.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Sanjay sir and Gandhi Institute for sure for this opportunity. And it's pleasure to see, like, how many people we're discussing about this extremely important topic about youth, right? Because I'm sure, like me, we all realize that the youth hold an enormous potential for change. And we together need to empower the young people. I'm talking about just when I was listening to everybody, I just did some research. So approximately we're talking about 12 million in Thailand and 220 million in India. I just took an example of these two countries. So we'll resume soon, like, leaderships in different roles, in families, in workplaces, and in communities. So I think there are a lot of numerous opportunities and the learnings which they have already covered. We have online, augmented reality, virtual reality. You have nano learning, you have project-based learning, and then you have online schoolings. So what are these all institution organizations are achieving? You have experimental learning. So the objective is, like, all this one is to empower the learning and investigate and respond. It could be authentic, it could be engaging, it could be a simple or complex question arise to develop the young generation's critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. So when I look into all 25 speakers, and it's the one message I would like to conclude to keep it short. What is most important, keeping all these education or learning, informal, formal, etc., everything, right? So many of my the co-speakers already covered. Structure yourself in career planning. So how do you structure? It's very simple. Ask yourself just simple questions like, what have you liked and disliked about each activity, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis? What did you learn from each activity? And what are those activity or the aspects that you would like to remain involved with it? So this is a life cycle. The career planning is not it's not just a work game, it's a life cycle. You need to do the self-assessment, you need to do the education, you have to do the research. Decision making is very important because the youth, you are the one, like, to do the decision making and make it into the action plans. So this is it's a life cycle management. It's a life cycle management. So think about your interest, think about your skills, achievements, and values, and how could you move on? You have a number of things, like, you have your family, professionals, medias, counselors, organization, institutes. Connect with them. Like, they will help you to give a shape to your personal proficiency, map your attitudes, what is your values, what is your strengths. So how you can, what are the life and career opportunities, and identify the career path they can boost, but you are the one who has to make a decision and make a career action plan. Because the conclusion is the world demands the qualities of youth. So not a time of a life, but it's a state of a mind and the temper of the will, a quality of imagination, the courage of timidity, and then appetite and adventure of how you overcome of the AIDS. So I would like to conclude that, and thank you so much. Have a good evening to everyone. Stay safe, stay strong.
Thank you, Shobhaji. So nice of you. And just to let you know, Shobha was the last speaker because she was making notes. What our speakers were saying. So she was making brief summary of the conference. So she has to be attentive since beginning until now. So thank you so much for efforts on that. Okay, now I would like to, I don't know how to thank Dr. Mano to sitting and listening everybody since beginning. I would like to, Dr. Mano, please summarize this conclusion and gives kind of your concluding remarks of this first International Youth Leadership Conference organized under your supervision, your vision by Gandhi Institute.
Well, I learned a lot from the address of many people, of the speakers, and I agree that education is a lifelong process. You need to learn as long as you live, and also is a dynamic process. It's not only limited to school, to institution, and you also to commit to enjoy it, no matter what you do, and also be flexible. We need a lot of skills in many ways, not only academic skills, but social skills, psychological skills. And also we need to work in team. And getting a degree is not important. Many people who are successful don't have degree, but they could manage themselves to be very successful, and they could be very wealthy if they know how to work with other people in the team. But above all, I think that we need to remain healthy. Our health, mental and physical health are the key. And the rest will be easy when we keep our health good and well. So wellness is the key. And make sure that creativity, innovation, and power of generating new knowledge will come to you. And above all, success will be something that we define it. We define what success is, not other people. And also have a good family, good friends. So this is very important. You cannot survive alone in this world. And we depend on good people. Above all, build your own inspiration whatever you do. You drive your life with love. Love alone wins everything. Build up this. And I'm very optimistic. I believe in the beauty of life. And I think that all people are fundamentally good guys. So cheer up, fight on, no matter how many mistakes you have made. We all make mistakes sometimes, but never give up. Fight on. And finally, we all will be successful in this world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mano. With that is 7:37 now, so we are actually 20 minutes late in the conference. But I would like to apologize. I wanted to finish at by 7, but somehow it's we start a little bit 10 minutes late, and then it become 20 minutes over the time. So I would like to once again thank you for joining this conference. I can tell you that I have never seen in Thailand such kind of conference targeted to youth. We have done parties, we have done the celebrations, festivals, but to me, this whole conference is an experiment to understand that we can think beyond the celebration. So we do in the academic fields in our universities and school and colleges, but as a society, where we stand, can we think something? Can we help our youth? Can youth advise? Can youth guide the society? We have to invest in the youth at a appropriate time, and I think this is the best time to engage youth, listen to them, and empower them. Listening is very important, because all the time we try to give them advice, but we never listen to them. So this conference is the platform where youth can express themselves. They can share their views. There's somebody who's listening to you. So I personally believe that we have set a new trend in, especially in Bangkok, where we can get together, we can sincerely have an intellectual discussion on important topic, pressing topics of the world that is required our immediate attention. And I think youth is the future. I would like to conclude by saying mission statement of this conference that was shared with you in the morning today. Youth are the legends of tomorrow. I have no doubt. All of you are the legends. All of you will decide the future of the world. Youth are the legends of tomorrow. First International Youth Leadership Conference is envisioned to unlock the potential of young people in leading the change. So basically, we want our youth empowered. We want our youth take lead despite of all challenges, despite of all changes that we are expecting in the society. By keeping the positive mindset, a youth has a power, energy, vision, mission to lead the world. Thank you so much for joining this conference. On behalf of Gandhi Institute, I would like to thank you for spending wonderful 3.5 hours conference. And somehow we are lucky to have a very good response from our young youth community here. So thank you all the speakers from Australia, Malaysia, Southeast Asia, and Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you to Achan Dr. Mano for staying all the way since beginning until now. Without you, we can't organize this conference for sure. And wonderful thanks to all the parents and friends of our speakers and people who joined this conference. So I would like to really thank you, all of you, to join. Hope you find this conference successful. One thing I would like to ask you, if you have any comments, suggestions, improvement that you would like to do in future, we'd like to hear from you. So once again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your dinner and have a good sleep. And tomorrow is working day again for all of us. So thank you for your time. Being on Sunday, you spend so much time with us. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Thailand.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much,
everybody.
Thank you, sir.
and Dr. Amanu.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, everyone. ขอบคุณค่ะ. Thank you. Thank you.
Very
for-
successful, very successful.
Thank you.
God is with Sanjay ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanjay sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kun Sanjay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Sanjay ji.
Thank you, ji, brother. Thank you, Dugar Saab, staying all the way.
Pranam, pranam. Just this is the encouragement we should have for each other. That's good. Fantastic.
We all working under your inspiration, yeah.
Good stamina you have. Yeah. Highly admirable.
Thank you so much. I just